Let's run up a milli.
Run that shit then. Let's go. I'm with it. You cannot see me if your glasses work like they was 3D. Popping shit up on that TV like I'm fucking needy. Yeah, you hating on the squad. My team was sick maneuvers. You see they waiting on the garden. You turn into Cooper. PIT, we been the squash. They strapped up like a trooper. Lions Den, that's on my guard. I introduce them to you. Don't be no groupie hanging around for no little clout. You get found the fuck out. Gon' bear your little faults. I was cold, I thought I fucking told you. Lying about some equal shit. That be that evil shit. Make you sneak a bitch. See the shit. You might dream that shit, but I be that lit. We was raised up on that bullshit. Lemonade up in the pulpit. Misbehave, you get the bull with Papa. Raise some fucking bull pits. When we pop, we empty full clips. Nigga, you can't pull shit, you bullshit. I want the best out of your hate and then I go a sicker. I just stepped down on a snake and they crying me rivers. You ain't got no job, you ain't got no squad, it's just you and your bitch. That mean you full of shit. Nigga don't fuck with bitch. I think I seen him bust that left, flag that Civic down. He dropped some shit like that, I bet he peace sitting down. Wifey out of bounds, Lavelle ain't really putting it down. I can't blame her on the cool, she wanted bat it down. Let her out to get some stick, the boys back in town. You fucked up when you set me up in the bad sound. O&E, I play for keeps, you get your dad found. With his throat where it shouldn't be, I don't fuck around. Neo love up in this bitch, she say she mother love. Nigga breathe between the lines, I am your fucking plug. Fucking feed feel too grown, he can't come around. Last year he showed his ass, this year I lay my stud down. You got a friend that nigga, he was talking shit about me, mama.
Yeah, peace, peace, peace. It's the Mad Scientist. You know where to find me at. Facebook, TikTok, Facebook, TikTok, bingo, Eric the Mad Knowledge. On my YouTube, go to Life Death Conflict TV. And on my Instagram is TrueHeart30. Okay. So y'all check it out. I got a lot of information out there. Before we start, I'm gonna let the backbone introduce herself and say hi to y'all. Say what's up, Kareem.
Shalom to everybody that's watching. Shalom to those that's on the panel. And yeah, I'm here for a good presentation. Give me a minute. I gotta go do something real quick, so keep talking.
Okay. Before we start, I just wanted everybody to know that, like I told people, I'm a researcher of the Bible. When I first came into conscious, I was a Christian growing up. I'm 12 years old. I left the church. I went through most of the schools, Comedic Science, 5%ers, Nation of Islam, the Wapians. My last step was the Indigenous American teaching and the Israelite teaching. So, like I said, I take the book as form as a research because my foundation is the Most High. I don't worship man. I don't worship any books, anything like that. My foundation is the Most High, and I was always taught to weed out the lies that were put into stuff, because we have to understand, as a nation of people, we was infiltrated, we conquered things, we was influenced by other things that might have been put in. Now, my purpose is not to destroy the Bible. My purpose is to show people that the Bible is the greatest book that ever was created because of it has everything in it. And when I show you this, I'm gonna show you all the stuff from most of the different nations. It has everything in it. You don't even have to go to most of these different nations. The symbolism is in it, the myths is in it, the history is in it, and I'm gonna show you today. But my first video that I'm gonna show is with my brother. It's gonna be like 10 minutes. Because I had to do something by 6 o'clock. So it's not gonna be a long presentation, but it's gonna be a good one. And I hope people to really listen to it. Don't listen to it from a biased ear, because like I said before, I'm not trying to destroy nothing. I'm trying to bring the truth. That's a difference. I'm not trying to prove things are wrong. I'm trying to bring an understanding from it, because I'm starting to understand that people are looking at the Bible from different lenses. And it's 4 different lenses that I see, and I'm trying to bring all 4 together to say, if you look at it this way, we wouldn't have no problem. So yeah, when she get back, we'll play this video with my brother. It's like a 10-minute video. He's a minister, but like I said, he came through the same schools. So we're trying to bring people to a different understanding. And I'm gonna say thank you to the Lions Den for allowing us to do this, for allowing us to bring other different mindsets to it, because there ain't too much other platforms doing this, and that's just real, and thank you to Kareem, thank you to JJ. But here go my brother, DT Minister Warcry, the real teachers of Jesus. 10 minutes, then I'll be ready.
You're here with the noble minister, Prince Warcry, and talking to my brother, we're going to break down some of the scriptures that Jesus was saying to his disciples and to the crowds of the people as he walked through the streets. We believe that Jesus has been misinterpreted by the church and by many priests and by many ministers. Let's deal with the first scripture Jesus said. When Jesus said, give Caesar, render unto Caesar what is his. A lot of people think that Jesus was saying, go ahead and pay taxes to Caesar. But what Jesus was actually saying was, why are you even using Caesar's money?
So what do you think about the preachers that's teaching that?
Yeah, I think either they're misguided or they're a part of a bigger conspiracy to hide the true teachings of Jesus. Because you got to understand there is a conspiracy that happened with Jesus after his death and after his resurrection. The same people who crucified him claim themselves to be the real church, claim their priests to be the real priests, even though they did not come from the tribe of Levi. Because you got to understand, before Jesus, the only priest of Israel were the people from Levi. Before so-called Muhammad, the only prophets were of Israel. So I think either they're misguided or they're part of the bigger plan to hide the true teachings of Jesus, which leads me to another scripture that Jesus said. When Jesus said, if people say, I am over here and I'm over there, believe them not. Most people take that as Jesus saying, watch out for false messiahs, like people saying that they're Jesus, people dressing up in white cloaks. But what he was talking about, watch out when they say that this scripture represents me. Watch out for the book of Romans that the same people who kill him trying to say that they understand his teachings and trying to bring it to the world. He was saying be careful about that. Yeah. Because through that, they could bring in their demonic corruption to make you think what they saying is coming from the Messiah, but it's really coming from the devil.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, when it comes to him being the son and the way they make him the son of God and the Trinity, I try to tell people it comes from Greek mythology. Greek mythology is what's mixed in, because if you got pagans over here, right, that believe in different gods, you got people over here that believe in one God. How can you get these people to come together and let you rule? What you do is you make your country a religion, and you take both doctrines and you put it and mix it together, and then put it in a secret way that you don't understand, that they mixed that shit up with our shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of shit they did.
And a lot of people don't understand the controversy between James and Paul. You gotta understand, James was Jesus' brother.
Yeah.
Paul was not even a disciple.
Yeah.
Paul didn't come on the scene until Jesus was already gone. So a lot of the discrepancy came from Paul wanted to bring the Gentiles in. And Paul was going around telling people that this is the teachings of Jesus, and Jesus said this and Jesus said that. But James, being Jesus' brother, ended up almost getting a fighting with Paul because he was telling Paul and Paul followers that that was not the true teachings of Jesus.
Yeah.
So, another scripture Jesus talked about, and people, is very controversial in the church, and it's very controversial in Bible study.
So what would you tell people that teaches Paul more than anything out of the New Testament?
You said, what would I tell them?
Yeah.
I would say, be very careful when you're deciphering the scriptures of Roman and the books that Paul read, because you must understand that Paul never knew Jesus. Paul never walked with Jesus. Yep. I would rather go to the disciples like the book of Peter and people like that, who actually not only did they know Jesus, they walked with Jesus, they slept with Jesus, they ate with Jesus. Yeah. You gotta understand that. So another scripture that has a lot of controversy behind it is the scripture, and to me it's been misinterpreted in the church, and it's been misinterpreted in Bible study. I've been on conference calls with ministers and bishops and priests, and it's the scripture that said members of your own family will be your enemy. Yeah. So you got to understand, when Jesus was talking from a capitalistic mind state, that capitalism, which is of the devil, would be...
Lord, Dan, because you said the mic cutting in and the phone cutting in and out, so it might be the mic.
Jesus, who understood about controversy, was talking from a capitalist state, and he was talking from a state of good and evil. Because a lot of us get trapped in the world, and we get trapped up in gangsterism, we get trapped up in drug dealing, we get trapped up in people's image and people's reputation, but what we don't realize is it evil. So Jesus was saying that he did revolute against evil, he did revolute against death, but members of your family will choose that way of evil. Members of your own family will sell you off for money. Members of your own family will hurt you for fame. Members of your own family will choose to be evil rather than be good. It took me a long time to understand that a lot of people of the world are evil. A lot of people do choose the dark side because, you know, we grew up in the church. Yeah. And in the church, we're taught about God, we're taught about Jesus. And I couldn't understand when it was talking about the world, the people of the world. But there is a separation. There are people of God and God's children, and then you got the average person who was of the world. He lives by the cliches of the world. He lives by the standards of the world. He lives by the morals of the world. And Jesus was saying that these people will be in your own family. Mm-hmm. Another scripture that's misconstrued of Jesus, which brings a great description of Jesus and the men of God and how they thought and what culture they belonged to. Jesus said, foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head. What Jesus was saying is that he is homeless. He called himself the Son of Man. His disciples were homeless. They went from town to town staying with saints and stuff. And Jesus understood that in the latter days, capitalism would be so harsh and so vicious and so demonic that the average righteous person of man won't even have nowhere to rest his head. And Jesus understood that this was demonic because Jesus said God gave the birds power to make nests. God gave the foxes powers to make holes. And God has given us the power to make houses and shelter for us and our family. But you have a demonic government and an oppressive government who do not want God's people to have shelter, who don't want God's people to have food. And if you don't believe it, when Jesus was born, a man who opened up his father's house to the world, when he was born, he had to be born in a manger because he could not find no place to sleep. His mother couldn't even find a place to give birth to her own child. That's how vicious and wicked and demonic the world is.
And what do you say about preachers who out here preaching that Jesus is God?
To me, once again, either they are misinformed, they don't have understanding of the scriptures, or they're part of a bigger conspiracy, because Jesus clearly told you that he was not God. When he said, we will pray and I will teach you how to pray. He said, pray like this: Our Father. Not just his Father, our Father. So Jesus is not our God. Jesus is actually our brother. And a lot of people say Jesus is God because you even know through generations and generations, people have had this concept of man worship.
Yeah.
They do it in the Nation of Islam. They did it in paganism. They did it in Greek mythology. They always want to try to make a man God because that's as far as their perception goes. These people are physical. But to understand the scriptures and to understand what Jesus and the prophets were saying, you must become spiritual. Yeah. You must be able to see through spiritual eyes. No, Jesus is not God, and he never said he was God. That's why he said, I will go back to the Father now. Yeah. Even on the cross, he prayed out to his Father and said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? He wasn't talking to himself.
Exactly.
So to me, that's just another big deception. And if you really think about it, any preacher or any person who say that Jesus is God really is representing Satanism.
Yeah, that's why when I debated a preacher one time, and he told me, he said, and we was debating on is Jesus God or not, and he said Jesus was God because if he wasn't God, he committed blasphemy. And I said, no, he didn't commit blasphemy. You just don't understand what he was saying. That's why he told you were God too. Because he's saying, you are my brother. Our Father is the creator, which makes us God because we are his children.
God is in you.
Yes.
Understand
this. You are not my brother just because you're black, just because you look like me, just because we're family. No,
Amen.
He said you are my brother because you worship the Most High.
Exactly, and you follow his commandments. And that's what he was saying, that in your own family, there will be wicked people. Your own family will be your enemy. Because just because we come from the same bloodline, don't mean that we represent the same Father.
Exactly.
And that is where it's been pushed through the media that all skin folks is kinfolk. And we know that's not true.
Yes.
That's why the Bible said that God judges your heart. He don't judge your mind. He don't judge your color, but he judges your heart. Is your heart for God and goodness, or is your heart for wickedness?
Yeah, anything else you want to say before we close up?
Another thing I want to say is we're going to be doing some human rights activist work about these jails in America. We want to deal with all the jails in the world, but we have to start here at home. We understand that some of our brothers and sisters do commit crimes, but we do also understand that all of our brothers and sisters are human beings, and we all have the right to be treated with dignity and treated like human beings. So we're going to be going to the jails, we're going to be going to the prisons, and we're going to protest against the inhumane conditions and the unnecessary violence that exists in these places because of a government that's based on capitalism, and they don't even want to spend the money to treat you humane, but they'll spend the money to treat the dogs humane in a pound.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, like when I was talking about Young Thug and these rappers going down, I said, yeah, I don't feel sorry for these people. These people are man-nails. These are the people who are supposed to be fixing the community, and they're destroying it, and then they're going to prison, and the people saying free these people. When we have real people that need to be free, we have real people who might have made a mistake, who's locked. It's people I know that's locked up for having pounds of weed and doing a lot of time, and this is the problems that we have. You know what I'm saying? So we need to, and we have particular prisoners. We have people that political, that was fighting for us, and they are still in prison. And these people are saying, free these motherfuckers that was already free, that was already millionaires, they already had the money, they already had the shit to fix us, and then they didn't do it. So no, I don't feel sorry for them.
Exactly. So if anybody wants to help out with the humanitarian act against inhumane prisons and jails, contact me on Facebook or through email or anything like that.
Okay.
And that's all I want to say. We got weekly services coming back soon when they are home.
Yeah, and check out me. I'm about to start doing, me and him will start doing documentaries again. We're going to start teaching out indigenous American history again. We'll start doing more of that. But this movement is really moving. Yeah, Pan-Africans about to move out the way because it's coming.
Exactly, when they are home.
Yeah, peace. I heard somebody saying that he's still speaking on the false Jesus. Look, this is the problem that we have. None of us are really knowing what this thing is saying. None of us have really researched and broke it down, and that's what I'm trying to show. So OTs that think the new T's is wrong and new T's that think the OTs is wrong, I'm gonna say all of us is wrong because we all looking from different lenses. And we got to come to a point where we got to research this stuff again and see what happened and why we arguing so much and why it's dividing us so much instead of uniting us. So that's my purpose. So we can start with the presentation. Oh yeah, and he was watching Dr. York at 12 years old. He was studying Nation of Islam, all that stuff as a teenager. So don't think he just no preacher that don't know what he's talking about. And he's learning from his brick brother. So, you know, it's called elevation. This is the line, then this is the flyer I put up. Ancient myths aside, the Bible through influence, symbolism, doctrine, and translation. Because I always, when I was taught that we worship certain gods at a certain time. We got invaded a certain amount of times. We invaded a certain amount of times. We got influenced by a certain amount of things. So, and then translation put things in through the English and mistranslated some things, and we got to understand what. So we can't look at something as 100% knowing that it's not. We have to start looking for the truth, and that's what I've always been doing, no matter who likes it or not, because I always look for truth. I want truth. I don't want hope. I don't want, okay, we just believe. I don't want that. I want truth. So let's go to the next one. All right. Ancient mythology inside the Bible through influence, translation, doctrine, symbolism. These are the 4 things I said I go by, like I said last time. Question all things. Because what did the Most High tell you? Do not put your trust in no men. I don't care who it is unless he put it in them. So we had to question men, and we can't go and listen to men and say that he is 100% right. Because we got to make sure. Because we got to make sure we ain't falling the wrong things. My whole purpose, like I told people, is when I leave here, I want to please the Most High. I want the Most High to tell me you did the right things. So my second is seek and you shall find, meaning you should search for the answer. You should search for it. So if you have a question, you need to go answer. You don't have a question and say, well, you know what, I'm just going to believe it anyway. That's what we got to stop doing. And I'm not talking about New Testament. I'm talking about both. I'm talking about anybody that reads this. We have to start doing that, okay? The third one, if you think you know it all, you know nothing. Nobody knows everything. Nobody has the answer, even me, to everything. The point is, we're supposed to put information out. We're supposed to share with each other. We're supposed to take from each other. We're supposed to learn from each other. The fourth one, a great teacher is always a great student. 3 and 4 goes together. I'm still learning. I'm still willing to say, you know a little bit more of me in this. Teach me this. This is how it got to go. It got to stop being, I know more this and you know this. I lost this and I still think I won. It got to get to the point where you understand if this person proves you wrong, you should take that. You should take that and bring it to you as a part of your studying. If I sit and argue with somebody or have a debate with somebody, they prove me wrong, I'm going to take it inside of my lessons because I want to know the truth. I don't want to be the person to think I know everything because you never know nothing. All right, so we go to the next slide. All right, we go to myth. Now, I'm just trying to explain when I'm saying this because a lot of people, this is my opening up to everybody. This is letting me know why I say these things. Because I understand a lot of people don't understand where I'm coming from. So I understand that myth don't necessarily mean fake. You actually can have historical events that have these things in it. Does not mean the story is fake. The person is fake. It could mean that the way they're telling the story is not 100% true. Example, Roots. Roots is not a real story. But they told you it was. But it's not a real story. It's a false story. But does that make the slave trade fake? No. So we got to understand that. All right. Myth, a symbolic narrative, usually of unknown origin, at least partially traditional, the abstinable, related actual events, and that is especially associated with religious belief. It is distinguished from symbolic behavior and symbolic places of objects or objects. Myths are specific accounts of gods and supernatural beings involved in extraordinary events or circumstances in a time that is unspecified, but which is understood as existing apart from ordinary human experience. Okay, we go to the next one. So do y'all see that dictionary? This is what I'm using when I say this. Meaning it actually could be a historical event. But things through traditions, through oral, through writings, through conquering can actually change it. And while a lot of people have the same stories or same myths, it's because of the symbolism, the morals, and the symbolism and the morals mostly that's in it. I'm gonna show you that. We go to the example of myth influence. All right. Now we got to understand what about influence. A lot of stuff that we do into this America is influenced by ancient nations. Okay. It is more than 2,000 years since the time of the ancient Greeks, but Greek mythology continues to have an influence on how we live today in the Western society. References to Greek mythology can still be found in our discussions, and science, arts and literature, language, names and brands. Thinkers of ancient Greece also laid the foundation for many areas of study, including astrology, mathematics, biology, engineering, medicine, and linguistics. Everywhere you turn, there is likely to be a reference to Greek mythology. Now you see where I got that from. And that's what I was saying. A kid, they are teaching kids this. So a kid knows these things. And that's why we got to get to that point. We got to understand that what these things mean and why they in here and what happened. That's the question. Okay, let's go to the next one. So you see myth and you see the influence of the myth. Similarities of myth. Myths and legends are similar because they both use heroic characters and contain deep symbolism. Myths contain gods and goddesses that reflect different aspects of life. Legends involve heroic characters that teach morals and one's culture through their action and a story. So that's why you can listen to this story and this story, because if it has the same moral of the story, if they have the same symbolism, if these stories can seem like the same but be changed through changing the people, changing certain events that happen that's not really historical, and making certain people heroes, which would make it the myth. Okay, doctrine, tenet, dogma, theory, precept, belief, a body or a system of teaching related to a particular subject. You see what I'm saying? And this is the doctrine that I talk about. Doctrine is something that's taught that's not inside the Bible. 33, Jesus died in 33. Stuff like that. These things are doctrines that have been taught so long that people think it's in the book. When you look, it's not there. December the 25th being Jesus' birthday. You know, stuff like that. All right, let's go to the next one. So y'all understand these definitions, because when I go into it, y'all should understand where I'm coming from. So nobody should come to me and say, you saying this is fake, because I'm not saying nothing is fake. So I just want people to understand that now. All right, symbolism. Symbolism is the idea that things represent other things. What we mean by this is that we can look at something, let's say the color red, and conclude that it represents not the color red itself, but something beyond it. For example, passion or love or devotion. More sophisticated way of approaching symbolism would be to say that things have symbolic qualities only in certain contexts, and sometimes they do not symbolize anything at all. If you want to quote Gertrude Stein, sometimes a rose is a rose is a rose. Sometimes a rose don't mean love or courtship or passion or desire or devotion. So that's what symbolism is. Meaning you can have a story that has myth in it, that has symbolism in it, and doctrine in it, but doesn't mean that doesn't mean it makes the person fake, doesn't mean it makes certain events fake. It makes certain things that inside of that historical event not all the way truth. And that's what we got to get to. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, translation. We all know it's been translated at least, what, 3-4 times, right? An act, process, or instance of translating a rendering from one language into another. The product of such a rendering changed to a different substance, form, or appearance. The process of translating words or text from one language to another. Oxford language. Okay, that's translation, meaning they took it from one language, made it another. When you understand translations and you change something, you're changing in the precept of the person mind who's translating it. So if you believe in one God and have that type of mindset, and I believe in different gods, me translating yours is not going to be 100% correct because I'm not going to understand it. So I'm going to put it in the way that I understand it from my own meaning. And then think about it been done 4 times like that. And then not even adding the other versions. So this is what I mean. We got to watch it. All right, let's go to the next. The morals of the story. A lot of these things that we speak on have morals of the story to it. And just like I say, Job. Now, if I was to say Job wasn't a real historical event, but it has morals to it, meaning it told you something. It gave you a story. So now you got to understand some of the stuff that I'm trying to say is wasn't a whole complete story, but had more of a story to it. Some was real historical events, but had myth and symbolism in it, which makes us argue because a person might look from different views of the book. I'm gonna get you that understanding soon. The moral significance or practical lessons as of a story. The moral of the story is to be satisfied with what you have. A passage point out usually in conclusion the lessons to be drawn from a story. So when you read a story and you understand the morals, it doesn't mean the story has to be 100% real because it has a moral behind it. And that's how the ancient people did. They didn't put historical events in everything. They made those stories to understand in real life this can happen. I'm going to bring it to you. Let's go to the next one. All right. The ways we look at the Bible that can cause disagreement. Some look at myths and symbolism as historical events that literally happen. Some only see and take the myth from it. Some only may see or take the symbolism from it. Some see or take the morals from it, but only a few really can understand and see and take all from it. And that's how I say that's the argument is. The argument is we're taking something that might be symbolism. We're taking something that we know that is not reality, and we'll argue over it as is a real historical fact. And if we want truth, we have to take all this away because your foundation should be the most high and nothing else. Once you make the foundation the most high, nothing else matters if it's not real or not. You see what I'm saying? If this really happened or this really happened. Did you get the moral of the story? Do you understand the symbolism? Do you understand that it's a doctrine that's created over top of this? That's what you have to understand. Once you understand that, you will understand it's one of the greatest books ever made. Okay? Let's go to the next one. All right. Ancient myths similarities. I teach that most, if not all, nations have similar stories because of the symbolism and morals of the story. Now, let's say I'm making a story to tell people that God can do anything, and it doesn't matter if you sick or not, right? Oh no. All right, let's say I make a story. I'm gonna make it simple. I tell a story to a kid and give him a story on the way that he don't touch a stove because the stove gonna burn him, right? And I give him a whole story on it, and then somebody else have a story for their child, but it's not the same people. It's not the same exact story, but the symbolism and the moral of the story. So the moral of the story is what? Don't touch this or it's going to burn you. That's the moral of the story. Doesn't mean the story has to be 100% real, but it's reality because it's coming off of reality. That's something, if you do touch it, it will burn you. Okay? So I want to make that example. I'll just go to the next. Okay, I already explained the example. That was what I was supposed to do when I got to this one. All right, let's go to Hades. Now I'm going to the similarities. So these are the similarities of what I see in other cultures that's in our culture. Now, I'm a person, like I said before, I'm not a person who said this is 100% correct. This is from my research. This is from me looking at it and say, this is similar to this. So should we take this as truth? Should we take this as false? Or should we understand how these two are similar? And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. All right, let's go to Hades. Initially, it seems that the ancient Greeks believed that all souls, regardless of how explanatory or dishonorable their earthly lives might have been, ended up in the same place after death. And for most of them, the underworld couldn't have been a particularly pleasant place. It was rather like living through the same dismal nightmare over and over again, battling for breath in a world inhabited by shadow, barren of hope, ill-lit and desolate. And this is how sometimes the underworld is described by ancient authors, nothing more than a joyless realm where the dead were supposed to slowly fade into. So this is Hades. You got to understand, even in Greek mythology, it changed to where Hades was one thing, and then now is a certain other thing. Okay, then we can go to the next one. Now, what is similar to Hades? And I know a lot of people will think I'm gonna say hell, but you're gonna be surprised. Let's go to the next slide. Sheol. What is Sheol? Sheol is supposed to be a place to after you die in Hebrew Old Testament doctrine. Okay, so let's read it. Somewhere or other, probably in Sheol, the land of gloom and deep darkness. In Sheol, Job 10:21. In Sheol, the good and the wicked shared a common fate, same as Hades. And the wicked shared a common fate, much as they did in the Babylonian underworld. So it's telling me there's three different nations that have the same type of place that you go to. Okay, because you got to understand, from the beginning, we all are family. We all are connected, and we all influence each other down. Kemet is not the oldest place that made these things up. Kemet got it from somewhere else, and them people got it from somewhere else. Kemet is just the oldest place that recorded it, that you can understand it. Okay, the place did not conjure up images or afterlife, for nothing happened there. It was the same as Hades, a dark place that's gloom where both people go, bad and good. This is what the ancient people believed at a certain time. And then once it went down, they started believing in you go this place, you go this place, you go this place, you go this place. Now I ask, is any of this true? No, because this is our perception of what we think. You see what I'm saying? This is a perception of how we looked at this. Does not make this a fact.
This only make it a thought, an understanding of things that we think that happens when you leave here. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, Greek judgment. The judges, the souls that appeared before a panel of 3 judges. I'm gonna say Ra, Minos, and Aquus, who passed sentence based on the mortals, these during their previous life. So this is an afterlife that they believe that at certain times when people come in, you get judged after life. Okay, let's go to the next one. This what is similar to this. We should already know what it is. Christian judgment. Jesus will act as the justice of the last judgment, as the Bible states. Moreover, the Father judges no one, but has entrusted all judgment to the Son. All skeptics will be judged by Christ at the great white throne, and they will face punishment in accordance with the acts they have done. The Bible is very definite that skeptics are collecting up vengeance against themselves, and that God will give them one person according to what he has done. Okay? Then this is what I was trying to say, the similarities. Now first we thought what? You go to a place. Then it became what? You get judged, and then you get separated from them. These are things that have been going on in ancient times forever. We are not the only people who thought about an afterlife. We already understand that Kemet was some of the oldest that they know, not the oldest ever, that they know. That was a religious people. They gonna say religious, but they was a people who believed in the afterlife. That my eye is about the afterlife is not a national law. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, the pale horse. What resembles the pale horse in the Bible? Okay, even if we go into what we call death, most people know of the Grim Reaper. See what I'm saying? Death has been our people, the ancient people take things and they make characters out of it. That's why the Most High said, do not worship anything in the sky, on earth, or in the waters. Because what we do is we take these things and we make them into gods. We make them into humans. And then we worship them. And they say, no, we're not worshiping them. We're not. Yes, you are. Because anything you make into an image and God give a name and a story behind it becomes a god. Even if it's fully real or not. Okay, the pale horse. Revelation 6, 7, 8 tells us this about the 4th seal. When he opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature saying, come and see. So I look and behold a pale horse, and the name of him set on him was Death, and Hades followed him. Now, why is Hades following Death in an Israelite book? Ask yourself that. That's all I'm asking. Ask yourself that. Don't come to me like I'm making something up or I'm trying to do something. Ask yourself this. If Greek mythology is not in these books, then why is he even talking about a place called Hades, which we know is not an Israelite tradition? Okay, we go to the next one. All right, Thanatos. This is the form of death in Greek mythology. See, we make things, it's only death. That's it. We know in reality death is not a human. Death is not a god. So why do we have images of it? This is what make it idol worshiping. And that's what we got to understand. Maybe our ancestors wasn't 100% right. Maybe they was worshiping things they shouldn't worship and they put it in these books. And you better make sure you're not worshiping them.
Because when you make something like death that is not a existing being, it becomes worship. Because God do all things. The Most High does all things. He made good and evil. He decides who die and who live, not death. Death is on a name that we gave, and we made a creature out of it. Okay? Thanatos, in ancient Greek religion and mythology, the personification of death. Thanatos was the son of Nyx, the goddess of night, and the brother of Hypnos, the god of sleep. Now you heard that? What do they call it when you go to sleep? Think about it. Just put this in your mind. The god of sleep. He appeared to humans to carry off to the underworld when the time allotted to them by the fates and inspired. So what they do is, this book is so amazing that it can have one character and it be 3 different other things. So the pale horse and this could represent each other, death, the Grim Reaper. All of these are mixed in one. And they all 3 different characters meaning the same exact thing. This is how things get passed down. That's how they pass it down through the gods. That's why we were told not to do what these people do. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, so the sun god, December 25th. Today, the 25th December, is the day in the latter Roman Empire when people celebrated the winter solstice and the birthday of the sun, Sun Sol Invictus. The day was called Dies Natalis Invicti, the conquered sun or unconquerable sun. Sol Invictus is shown with 2 of his horses and part of the chariot. The Masonic is in Tomb M in the necropolis underneath St. Peter's in Rome. The image is also interpreted by some authors as being a representation of Jesus. Now, this is what I'm trying to tell people. When we go to Jesus, it's different layers. Could the real Jesus existed? Yes. But could his story have been tainted? Yes. Through different people, meaning they could take a person and they know, like I said, they put it together. They say, oh, how can we stop this? How can we stop this movement? They take your stuff, they killed the disciples, they take their books, and they said, we're gonna put this together with our paganism. They worship the sun. They created him as the sun. So when I say Jesus is the son, people think I'm trying to talk about the real human. I'm saying the perception that they gave you, the symbolism that they gave you. And I'm going to show you that these other different type of things do the symbolism because of the way these people had. These people had certain gods that was gods of the same things. And they changed it. This is a sun god, December the 25th. So we should know by doctrine, this is sun worship. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now this right here. Now this is showing us how bad our people are, the Christians, basically. They'll tell our kids that this fat red man right here will come down the chimney and give you presents, right? On the same day as so-called Jesus' birthday. But then we know Santa Claus is a representation of Saint Nicholas. So you see what I'm saying? They took the birthday, they put it on top of him. They created him as they not created, but they put the symbolism of sun over top of him. So that way pagans can also worship him too. That's why the Catholic Church is one of the weakest places you could go to, but they're religious people. All right. We just have speculated that the Roman Church, Catholic Church, chose December the 25th because it ties with the winter solstice and Saturn Ella, meaning Saturday
We know it's Saturn Day, so we know they worship that too, and they worship the planets, just like the Greeks, just like the Kemetics, just like people before them. Okay, a festival dedicated to the Roman deity Saturn. The church also copped this popular pagan festival as well as the winter celebration of other pagan religions by choosing this day to celebrate Jesus' birthday. According to scholar, I don't even Ignacio Gotts in the book Jesus the Jew, Reality, Politics, and Myth, a personal encounter. Gotta check out that book. I haven't read it yet, but check it out. I'm trying to tell you, I don't read a lot of these books. I don't do a lot of stuff. I just tell you where to go. I only find people that comes with my thinking. Y'all has given me this ability. People don't understand, if you don't, you don't. Okay. So yes, like I said, this is one of the symbolism they put on Jesus. The sun, S-U-N, oh God, the 12 disciples, 12 zodiac signs. If you talk to any Masons, most Masons, if you talk to other people that's kind of like them, they would tell you this. Because the people who translated this had that type of Masonic thinking. And they put it in there. You have different translations, different people touching these books and putting their own inputs in it. And we got to understand what the falsehood to come from. Let's go to the next one. All right. The serpent at the Bible. Now, all right. Numerous roles. Now, I'm just putting the similarities to it. Because, like I said, these stories are so deep, bro. These stories are so deep that they can have 4 different teachings in it at once. And if we really understood that, then we will understand this is the greatest book ever. These atheists and stuff wouldn't be able to touch us if we actually knew these things. Okay? Numerous roles have been attributed to the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Many view the serpent as the embodiment of the original evil, or even a first look at the devil himself. From a literacy point of view, the serpent can serve as the first example of the trickster character in the book of Genesis. The evidence to support these claims can be found in the opening line of Genesis chapter 3. Now, the serpent was more crafty than any other beast and field that the Lord God had made. Okay? Now, I'm going to say that this is a symbolic story that we took as a historical fact. And understanding that we think that this is actually where our sin came from, okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's go to the next story. This is Prometheus. Now, watch what happens. In Greek mythology, Prometheus is one of the Titans, the supreme trickster and the god of fire. In common belief, he developed into a master craftsman, and the connection he was associated with the fire and creation of mortals. His intelligent side was emphasized by the apparent meaning of the name forethinker. Now, let's go to the next one because I want y'all to see how I put this together. All right. Biblical serpent and Greek god similarity. The prophet of Yah has spoken. The truth has to be told by exposing the myths. Question: could the Babel serpent be a copy of Greek mythology of Prometheus after Zeus took fire from the man? Prometheus brought it back to man and ended up being published by Zeus. The serpent gave Eve knowledge, good and evil, and made them gods. The serpent was punished as well, while fire in Greek symbolizes and mean knowledge and immortality, which is what the serpent taught. Now, hold on, let me break this down because that's kind of deep for y'all. I know somebody will be like, well, what that mean? What I'm saying is the symbolism, because I haven't even showed the symbolism part of this. The moral of the story, the myth, is what kept these two stories similar. God took fire from man, which means knowledge. and he brought it back to man. The serpent gave Eve what they would say knowledge. They both were punished for bringing these things back. So what I'm trying to get people to understand, if you actually look at the moral of the story, if you look at the symbolism, if you look at the myth of it, it is similarities that go together. And you're not gonna have two nations have similarities unless they influence each other. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Trickster in ancient mythology. The role of the trickster is an old and written literature itself, regardless of origins. It's fair to say that every culture in some way utilizes the trickster character in their oral traditions, folklore, and written literature. Barbara Bobcott Abrahams writes on the importance of the trickster archetype, saying the trickster plays tricks and is the victim of tricks. The trickery of such stories extend as well to symbolic play regarding cultural forms, rule, and worldviews. The opening book of the Peshitta, Genesis, is no different, offering a wide range of trickster characters and tales. So this is what and this is from a biblical site. So this is what I'm trying to tell people. They have the same type of stories to make the morals, and it has a bunch of symbolism in it. So again, the stories don't have to be historical truth. It has morals behind it. When you go into certain tribes, certain nations, when they told stories, the stories might not have been true. Not saying every single one, because these are different books. We got to understand this is not one book. These are different books put into one. So when we go into like let me give an example. Siberia. We tell people that these people actually believe how they came over here in the Bering Strait. If you understand their mythology, they came over here on the ice, the water turned to ice. They walked across the water. They had a horn in the middle of the of the ice. They pulled it, the ice split. Some people came here to America, the other people went back. Now, a common person with common sense will know this is just a myth. This is not a real story. This is what people, that they lost the really historical facts of it, and they're making a myth out of what they think that happened, how they got here, because they really don't know. Because they've been here so long that the original story has been tampered with and been changed. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, symbolism in the Bible. Now, I'm gonna speak on this serpent thing. And when I kept hearing Lex and the pods talk about Jesus was the serpent, they're not talking about in the historical form. They're talking about in symbolism form. They might say it's nothing but symbolism. I say Jesus could have been a real man, but through myth and symbolism, they changed his character. So when some people really read about him, they would say, no, that's not true. The way he did this, that's not real. Now, see, this is the thing that happens because certain people only look at certain eyes. Again, all right. Exodus, Moses, the Kundalini energy describes at a detail how the biblical scripture of Exodus has rich allegory. Surrounding this mythical spinal energy, the lower man, or carnal man, as the Bible refers to it, is mystically represented by Egypt. The ego, which screams to us that keeps us in line. Pharaoh, our spiritual impulse, with the helps that lead us not out of bondage lead us out of bondage of the lower mind. Moses, Kundalini energy, which rises of the spinal. It is referred to as a female energy and sleeping serpent. When it reaches the brain, it impacts the pineal gland, which is a conduct for spiritual experiences during meditation. And Moses grows, he comes into a conflict with the other aspects of us, and he is driven out into the wilderness of meditation. Now you hear that? Now, when somebody say this story didn't might have happened like this. This part I don't believe that's truly real. Like I said before, does that make the history false? Does that make the human false? No. It only makes the aspects of how the story is told maybe not 100% real. That's just what I'm trying to get people to understand. Not saying that all is fake, but certain things that might got put in there might didn't happen. Does that take away from the morals of the story? No. Because that's the most important part of all this. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, scripture with symbolism, serpent staff, Exodus. And the Lord has said unto Moses, put forth the hand and take it by the tail. For he put forth the hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. Hand taken by the tail. Point of origin of the Kundalini starts from the coccyx at the tailbone. When we throw it down, it would become spiritual. It would become spirit and spiritualize our physical. We still have the physical. It does not disappear, and we can take back the authenticity whenever we like. Only we will see it in a totally different perspective as a result of insights and of meditation. And like I said before, our people and these ancient people were so smart, man. Y'all don't understand that they can take something and make a whole story out of it, and it could be science. It could be history. It could be all type of things. And you can see how they did this. So for us to say that we're smarter than ancestors, we are nowhere near as smart as our ancestors thought. Our ancestors thought a certain way to where this person ain't gonna know if I say this is science. So let me put it in a way that he can do it, and he actually speaking this science without even having to say it that way. And it made it more simpler to people. Just like example, Ra. They made Ra what? The sun. Then they made a story behind it. You see what I'm saying? Then when you understood it was the sun, you understood the story because you knew the symbolism of it. So when you hear the story, you understand the story more. You're not arguing about certain parts that might be mythical or symbolic. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, Adam and Eve, symbolism, separation of the mind. Now, like I said, this is through research I'm looking at. This is stuff I see. Now, do I say I 100% believe everything? I can't really say that because I don't believe nothing at all as far as 100%. But I see from my research the things that could have happened. And this is how I research. This is how I look at stuff. All right. Eve, right side of the brain, and her desire to be like God. But seeking wholeness, naturally being half. To seek wholeness will require the joining of the other half, Adam, left side of the brain. Now, knowing that Adam and Eve represent aspects of the brain, archetypes of the mind follow me to get to know God, to become one with God, to become God. Requires you to integrate both parts of the brain, including balance, subconscious and conscious mind. Now, let me tell you something. If you understood this story and the aspects it's supposed to understood, do you know how more your elevated your mind would be? The right and left brain, the tree, which equals the spinal cord, the snake, which is the energy. Okay? The brain and the spinal cord in the body is the most important thing. So in your flesh, just understand that. When I tell people, when we got to look at these books like this, like the book of Adam and Eve, Moses wrote these books. They say, if you go down the lineages, 2,500 years after Adam. And I believe it's longer. So are you telling me somebody that writes something about somebody? Now we argue about somebody writing something about somebody 200 years ago, 100 years ago. So you telling me somebody that writes about something 2,500 years ago is going to have the exact story? And that's why I say I'm looking for truth. I can't help if nobody else is. And I'm just taking people along with me. I am not telling people to believe this. I'm not telling people this is what it is. I'm telling people this is what I've seen from my researches, and I'm taking you along with me. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, the right and left brain. Right brain represents imagination, intuition, dreams, creativity, creative arts, esoteric, mystical, channeling, spiritual gifts, nurturer, feeling, emotion, abstract through symbolic, subconscious. The left, logic, order, practically and analytic, rational, facts, language, law, esoteric, niner thinking, part and detail, concrete thought, physical, material, conscious. So we understand it is two parts of the brain, the right and the left, which together creates the conscious, what is controlled by the subconscious, what is the body is controlled by the spinal cord. Where the electric energy, what they call energy, goes down the spinal cord, goes through the nervous system and controls the body. I have a problem right now with my heart. They say it's an electrical problem. So understand, yes, you have energy inside of you. So let's go to the next. The tree represents the spinal cord as the energy. And this is the symbolism of it. Okay. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is a spinal cord, and the serpent is the Kundalini. The tree of knowledge of good and evil represents polarity, duality. Whereas the tree life represents unity and union of. The unity of the polarity wakes up the Kundalini and makes it ascend up the spinal cord. The Kabbalah religion and choice of Kabbalah. In fact, the word Kabbalah comes from Kabbalah. The Kabbalah tree of life has 10 separate plus a 11th hidden one. There are 22 pathways. 22 plus 11 is 33. The serpent ascends up in the tree of life as pictured. Now, this is why I try to tell people. I don't hate Masonics because of their teaching. I ain't gonna say hate. I don't disagree with Masonics because of their teaching. I disagree that they can be black leaders or for our people because you claim that you keep the secrets from us. You work with certain people to keep y'all foundation going, even if it's willing to lie to us. I talked to a Mason before. I said, "Did Jesus die on the cross?" He said, "Yes." I said, "When you go in the Masonic building, do you believe the same thing?" He said, "No." To me, that's called a liar. That's a person who comes and tell you something he don't really believe in. And anybody that does that is a liar and is not of the Most High. Anyone, Israelite, atheist, Muslim, if you know the truth and you hide the truth because of your belief, then you're a liar and you're a deceiver and you're not of Yah. If you prophesize things and it doesn't come true, Rabbi Lewis, I'm coming after you too if Jesus don't come when you say you're coming. So I'm just telling y'all, all these lies gonna stop, and I'm coming. All right, let me go to the next one. All right, Jesus and the two thieves symbolism. Whereas about the tree of life presents unity and union of the opposites. Just like Jesus, unity, crucified between the two thieves, polarity and duality. According to Samael, in the three mountains, we can and must set the following postulation as a corollary. All right, Agathos and Cacus, when crucified on the Mount of the Skulls. Again, this is the symbolism of what they're trying to say. This is the symbolism part. The serpent, the cross, spinal cord, the serpent energy going across. The two thieves on the side, the right and left. Okay, together, what it makes. As they call the Christ. That's what they call the Christ. I forgot the Christ man. I call it the God man though. But you know what I'm saying. So this is the aspects of symbolism. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up. Son of Man, son of Adam. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell people. If we understand the aspects of all 3 levels and 4 levels, man, our elevation would be so high. But we still going off of belief because we got out the churches, but we never got out the religious mindset. So now we'll take certain things that we know ain't reality and we make it reality. And it's time to stop doing that because it's 2022. Our kids are going to ask these questions, the same thing I asked the church. And they can't keep giving me these non-reality answers. You can't give me a reality. You can't give me an answer that I know in reality doesn't exist. In reality, you and us all know that a serpent doesn't talk. We know this, and we know it never talked. So what does it mean if this serpent didn't talk, and why is it in here? People would take some of symbolism and then act like it's not. Anybody that says the tree was a knowledge that the serpent gave to Adam and Eve is speaking outside of what the Bible is telling them. The Bible don't say that. So this is what we got to understand. Either you're going to take it or you're not going to take it. Either you're going to teach it or you're not going to teach it. Don't teach what you want to, and you don't like this part, so you don't want to teach this part. So you have teaching. I've caught people teaching out the book of Adam and Eve. They claim they only read the Bible. Is it wrong? No. And we got to get to this point. You want to know the truth, so you went somewhere else and tried to find it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, serpent of the spinal cord. The Kundalini refers to the dormant power of the energy representing every human being and lying like the cold serpent in the etheric body at the base of the spine. This cold serpent has been biding its time for ages, waiting for the day when the soul will begin to the charge of the rightful domain. The personality is a combination of the physical, astral, and mental bodies. The spiritual force, while still asleep, is the static form of creative energy, will serve as vitalized in the whole body. When awakened and beginning to uncoil the electric fiery force, proves to be a spinal nature and hence the symbolic translation of a serpent power. So when people say, oh, they worship the serpent, no, people don't worship the serpent. It is symbolic of energy. You see what I'm saying? But some people take it literal. So you would have groups that would take a serpent and use it as in religion as a deity or power when it doesn't mean that, because everybody does not understand symbolism. I've been understanding symbolism because I went against the Masons for so long. I understand it. I don't hate symbolism, and I understand symbolism because I know through translation a lot of that stuff is in here. And you have to weed out the lies of anything. Any book, any human teaching, any doctrine. You have to question it. You don't just believe in anything. The old Bible tells you seek and find. Why is he telling you to seek if everything is truth? Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. The spinal cord, a long tube-like band of tissue, and it connects to your brain, to your lower back. Your spinal cord carries nervous system to your brain, to your body, from your brain to your body, and vice versa. These nerves signals help to feel sensations and move your body. And this is what I try to tell people. Your conscious mind, your energy being when you die, but you have a conscious mind. You are the conscious, the subconscious. You control the conscious, which controls the mind, which controls the brain, which controls the body. Okay? And that's why I teach people what God is at inside of you is your subconscious. That's what God lies inside of your subconscious, because that's who you are. You subconsciously move your body. When you move your fingers, you don't have to say, move my fingers. You subconsciously tell your mind to do it without even having to subconsciously think it. But you literally making your mind send a message down into your body to move your finger. And you doing it within seconds. With the energy that travels through. Everything that's made comes from the human body. They made the heart, they made the car, they made everything from the human body. And the main thing of a lot of these electric things and stuff that they make is what? Even a house is electricity. That's why even these nations that don't have nothing, places like Africa, they're trying to get what? Electricity, because it makes your whole civilization better. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, the rebirth. As your cerebrospinal fluid, Christ, climbs your 33 vertebrae, Jacob's ladder, and meets your 12 carnal nerves, 12 disciples. It ignites the pineal gland, which is your resurrection. Okay? Now, this is called the symbolism of it. Meaning now, when you hear a story and you hear us talking about this, and then you have questions and say, this don't sound right. This don't sound like reality. Maybe it's symbolism. Maybe it didn't happen like that. Maybe the whole story is not a factual story, but the symbolism, the moral of the story is. Maybe it is a historical fact, and it has symbolism and myths in it that doesn't make it not real. So this is the things we have to understand again. Let's go to the next. Jonah and the whale, symbolism. Now, people can tell me all day, they say you can sit up in the whale for 3 days. Like I said, I'm above reality. Until I see somebody do it, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, let's go to the symbolism of it. Which one sounds better? This is what I do. I take this, and I take this. Which one to me sounds more realistic? Okay. Jonah means dove, and his reputation of the divine spirit. Crew of the ship are the thoughts that come into your mind. The crew try to roll and do their own way, whereas Jonah wants to jump into the sea. His thoughts were trying to rule him, but he wanted to give himself up to God. The word ship, you and your personality and direction in life. The ship is being rocked by the storm. So when we are being rocked by the events in our lives and the world as it represented symbolically in the photo at the beginning of the article. Now, see, do you hear this? This is a thing of the mind, talking about being closer to God through the subconscious. Now, what I'm trying to tell people is that's even deeper than what we thought this is about. Not that it makes it false, it makes it more amazing to me, and understand that our people were amazing. Our people's minds was crazy. Our people's minds was deep. You know what I'm saying? Our people's minds was not just simple. For them to put this together like this, do you know how hard it is to do? I don't know if anybody read it, but you know how hard it is to do, to put symbolism, myths, to put everything inside of a story so much that it makes people think this is a historical event. Okay, let's go to the next one. Jonah and the whale, symbolism and scripture. Jonah 1:11. Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempestuous. And he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm into you. For I know that my sake, this great tempest is upon you. The storm of your life will only be calm when your spirit Jonah is cast into the deep sea, the stillness, emptiness of nothingness of spirit. There is something that happened in meditation that calms the storm. So cast your spirit into the deep sea of meditation and bliss. Now, people say, I don't deal with meditation. What you think prayer is? Prayer is just a different form. Okay, people say they don't do certain things, and we do exactly the same thing, but we just call it something else because we want to make it holy and make what you do not. We want to say this person is evil because he cast a spell on this person, but then you have a biblical person say, I hope God kill you. It ain't no difference. It's the same exact thing. Okay. Nevertheless, the man rowed hard and bring it to the land, but they could not. For the sea wrought and was temperance against them. Esoteric being at .com. Okay, let's go to that. Does that. So I have all my sources, all the slides y'all see. All right. How doctrine, myths, and symbolism flow in one culture to another. We'll go to the next one. All right. And this is the historical form of how I'm showing that one nation could go to another nation, they influence each other. So the original thought of that one nation has been changed through influence. But like I said, they have their own mythical, historical symbolism. But when they meet somebody else, they might take some things and add it on from influence. But it stays intact because of the morals of the story, meaning because it doesn't have to be real. It's set to be a moral to tell people how they should act and how they shouldn't act. And give an example what happens if you don't. Okay. These are the people who wrote this part of this thing that I'm showing of the Canaan. This actually is teaching how Canaan actually influenced Egypt. Okay. Corey and Rand Airy, welcome to Ancient History, Encyclopedia. And thank you for speaking to me about the Pharaoh and Canaan, the untold story. I extend my congratulations in having put together a remarkable presentation of ancient Egypt and Canaanite artifacts together with Dr. Dalphina Ben Tor. So y'all look out for these people, read it, see what they're talking about. Your co-curator. All images featured in this interview have been attributed to their respective owners. Image lent to AHE by the Israel Museum, Jerusalem, have been done at SOFI's courtesy. Interview edited by James Blake Weiner for AHE. Special thanks is extended to Mr. Rand Lohr, head of marketing at the Israel Museum, Jerusalem. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So them are the sources of some of these things we're showing right now. Canaan conquering part of Egypt. 3,500 years ago, mutual cultural influences and political fluctuations marked the relationship between ancient Egypt and Canaan. Around 1700 BCE, the Hyksos, a foreign dynasty of Canaanite origin, conquered northeastern Egypt, following their expulsion from 150 to 100 years later. 150 to 100 years later, Egypt entered a period marked by military conquest and cultural finance during the New Kingdom. So even in Egypt, let me tell you something, even in Egypt, the old kingdom, by the time I got to the middle of the New Kingdom, was not teaching the same things because of the influence of the Hyksos, the influence of the Persians coming in, I think it was the Persians, the Babylonians or Arabians, and the Greeks. So by the time that's why Commission is telling you that they're only dealing with the New Kingdom, which is the Greek dynasty, the Ptolemy dynasty. That's what they'll tell you about Cleopatra. I put out years ago that Cleopatra was a Greek. He part of the Ptolemy dynasty. Because it doesn't matter if she's black or not. It is not about black or white. At that time, it was about nationality. That's why Romans had black people in Rome. Greeks had black people in there. All of them wasn't just black. It's just like America. You have black, Chinese, all these people in the type of nations. We have to stop thinking like it's like our ancient people were idiots and small and some type of savage thinking. These people were smarter than us. We literally get all of our teachings, most of our teachers from these ancient people that we think we're smarter than. Okay, let's go to the next one. How nations influence each other. I have read the Canaanites absorbed technology and artistic innovations from Egypt, and that Egyptians in turn adopted Canaanite deities and technologies. How does Pharaoh and Canaan showcase the exchange stimulated by Egypt rule over Canaan? So this is telling you two nations actually influence each other in different ways. Just like right now, we influence the world. I don't care about what people say about Africa. I don't care about what people say in South America, anywhere else. We influence the world. The American Negro of America influenced the world. That's how we know we the people of God. And if people don't recognize us, the people of God, I don't care where you at, Africa, anybody, then you ain't part of God. Because God created us to be the the representation of God across everybody. Everybody wants to do our rap. Everybody wants to dress like us. Everybody wants to talk like us. Everybody. Drill music alone, I can show you, is in Turkey, Spain, Italy, Africa, South America, everything. Just a music, a deaf music. Not even real music, deaf music. They are copying everything from us. The Negro of America is the greatest, and don't let nobody ever tell you they ain't. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Egypt take back power. Today, we commemorate military victories of erecting memorials. It was no different in ancient times. This monumental stone erected in Beth, Pharaoh Seti the First, 1290, 1279 BCE, was designed to immortalize the Egyptian victory over Canaanite forces some 3,300 years ago. The monument was carved out of local basalt stone by Egyptian artists working in Canaan, cut into the main part of the stele are 22 lines of the hieroglyphic scripts. Read from right to left. The inscription begins with the date, year one of the Kings of Rain, Victory Stella, right here. So that's an artifact. I'm just showing you how, just that they have evidence that they was in there. Okay, this is the historical part. And let's go to the next one. I'm about to show you the mythical part then soon of this. How myth and history can work together. The last part of the inscription describes the Egyptian victory in the area of Beth, Shean. Did the pharaoh himself take part in the military campaign to restore Egyptian control over Beth? The answer is this question is controversial, but as was usual with Egyptian military victories, the pharaoh made sure he would be given credit for the success of his troops and their commanders. So these people who tell you that Kemet history is a fact because it's written on a stone is not telling 100% fact. Because they're telling you right now, if the pharaoh did or not join in the war, he will be put in there. Is that 100% correct story? No. And this is stuff we got to realize. Like Alexander the Great, I tell people, they haven't found Alexander the Great. But they'll tell you just because they ain't found Abraham, that Abraham ain't real. But you ain't found Alexander the Great, but they tell you he's real because they found this and this and that. But you ain't found the body. So if you're gonna go by that, then ain't none of it. Then Alexander the Great is just a myth too. Genghis Khan is a myth too. They haven't found Cleopatra body. There's a lot of people they haven't found that they'll tell you there's historical events. They are now saying that by them can't find a Genghis Khan body that they believe he is a mythical character. And we are taught that this is a historical figure. They even do it in history. Okay, let's go to the next one. Evidence of Canaan influence. A private Egyptian stele showing veneration of divine triad. Surprisingly, 2 out of 3 are Canaanite and not Egyptian gods. The stele is divided into 2 sections. In the lower section, the scribe Ramos and his wife are seen kneeling in a gesture of veneration towards the 3 deities depicted in the upper section. Okay, so this is showing you that they have evidence of the influence. Just like Nubia. When you see them dark pharaohs, a lot of them are not Egyptian pharaohs. A lot of them are Nubian pharaohs. We have to understand this. When we look at some of these people that think because they're black, they're part of Egypt, they're not Egyptians. Some of them could be Greeks. Not from just the bloodline, from the dynasty, from the nation. She was blood, her mama could be this, but what rules this nation? Cleopatra's mama could be Egyptian. Her daddy could be Greek, but the Greeks ruled over the Egyptians at that time. So she was under a dynasty called the Ptolemy dynasty, which is Greeks. And most people, anybody knows that when it says go by the father, we are not talking about just the seed. We're not talking about that. We're talking about nationality. That's why most kings pass their shit down to their son. That's why most people in the Bible was passing their heritage down to their son. This is what that means. But these people don't know how to actually teach these things. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is the stele. Egyptian stele showing worship of Canaanite deities. Deir el Medina, 13th century BCE. Now, when I started studying Canaan, I started saying, why don't nobody talk about where Egypt came into Canaan? Because that would make sense now when they saying a lot of Israelites have similarities to Kemet. Because we did not kill all the Canaanites. We joined with them until a point where we was worshiping their deities and actually sacrificing children. That's what Johanna is when I talked about hell. The lake of fire was a place in western Jerusalem. The lake of fire was not a place after death. It was created to be a place after death after that. This is the influences that happen because you're a conquering people, but if you don't kill them all, their influence will adapt to you. America took over this place, but they still have influence from the people they took over. What they did is mix it up and made you think it's them that created that. That's why now you find out, oh, this black man created this black man invented this black man did this. We created America. That's why all these people talking about going to Africa and all that bull. Forget that. We created this place. This place is ours. What are y'all thinking? Okay, let's go to another slide. How 2 cultures going to war can influence future cultures. Actually, not long after the Egyptian withdrawal from the Canaan, the Canaanites disappeared from the stage of history. And we then see the Israelites and their Aramean, Phoenician, Amorite, Moabite, and Edomite neighbors playing powerful roles in this geographical arena. The Egyptian legacy over Canaan was probably absorbed into these newer cultures. So it's talking about the influence of other nations that actually got into these lands, and like I said, it didn't kill them all. So a lot of the stuff got adapted. When Alexander the Great went to Egypt, which I'm saying he's mythical until we find his body, but the history of Alexander the Great went into Egypt. He loved Egypt so much that he became a pharaoh. They killed him because he tried to take a lot of that stuff from Egypt, the deity, and tried to take it to Greek. And they killed him for that. And eventually it still went there. Because once you take over a place, you still get influenced by them people. Because it's not, unless you kill them all off, which I ain't never heard of people killing a whole goddamn nation off. That shit doesn't exist. You get extinct not by your blood, you get extinct by your nationality. When they came over here, they did not extinct 600 Native Americans. They made you not know your culture and your society and your nation. Once you don't know your nation, you are a lost people. You're no one anymore. You don't exist. We don't exist in this world. That's why they don't care about us, because we're not part of the UN. We're not part of nothing, because we're not under a nation to where we can go to the UN. That's why people like Mighty Hebrew and Moors talks about nationality. Because if you want stuff done, you have to be considered a nation, army, military, land, law, growing your own food, materials that you could trade. You have to have these things. Nobody cares or either fear us because we don't have these things. And if we ain't gonna never be that, we're never gonna be feared. That's why when Demona went over there, they were feared. Okay, let's go to another slide.
All right, peace and blessings, family. Hey, you going in, man?
Hey, what's up, JJ? What's up,
man? Hey, this why let me say something real quick. This is why the Lions Den is one of the best platforms out there. I don't agree with all this stuff, but a lot of it's good. Everybody in the Lions Den don't agree 100%. Some people in the audience agreeing with them. Some people don't. Yeah. So keep teaching, family. Go ahead, man. You're doing good.
And that's why I say I appreciate the Lions Den for letting me do this. But like I told people, this is more of my open up things. I know a lot of people don't understand me yet, so I'm trying to get a more understanding to people. This is my example. This is the last part, so I'm about to I'll finish after this.
Well, okay, and then really, once you do that, man, let's let Kamisha and Social want to jump on, man. Maybe they can ask a couple questions, since they kind of
okay.
Yeah. So okay. Go ahead, fam. I'm sorry.
All right, showing that we still use myths, symbolism, and morals in our stories. All right, let's go down. All right, now check this out. I ain't gonna say it explicitly because this is kind of rated R, so I'm not gonna say what it actually says, but we know. All right, the American Negro slang language form fact and symbolism, a form of fact and symbolism. Okay, now say that. Now Terry, I mean, I said now, JJ. I don't know y'all language, but if I say, yeah, me and my dog saw this cougar and we ran a train, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's the purpose, but we are talking straight in symbolism, meaning if somebody that didn't know what I was saying would think this man had a dog and took a cougar and ran a train on them. This is the stuff that I'm trying to get people to understand how we would look at it. All right. All right, she banging. I'm trying to get that cat, but I heard she got a monkey on her back. Do y'all understand what I'm saying when I say that?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. Problem. Okay, well, I'm gonna get, if anybody don't in the comments, I'm gonna just say it. It's saying she looks good.
Come on, man, you ain't gotta say that, but we get it.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say the R. I'm not gonna say the R way.
Oh, okay.
She looks good. I'm trying to holler. I'm gonna say holler. Y'all know what I mean. I'm gonna say trying to holler at her, but I think she got a disease. That's what that's saying. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one.
I thought you were gonna do that first one. Okay. Yeah.
No. That's why I try to leave that part look, because I was like, I know I can't really, I just try to show the little part of what I was talking about. All right, boys of the story. Kid story. Boy that cried wolf. We know that the wolf is not real. The boy is not real, but it's based on something that can really happen, and mostly has a moral of the story, which is that if you keep lying, it would get to a point that no one believes that you're telling the truth. Okay, this is the moral of the stories of a lot of the things that comes on, and that's how I said a lot of these are most of the important things when we read. It's the morals of the story. If you don't get the morals of the story, then you're reading it out of for nothing. You see what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the next one.
After that fourth time, man, they're like, man, go ahead and cry wolf, bro.
Yeah.
We ain't coming. We tired of this. Yeah. So the moral is
watch how I do this.
Don't keep lying, because if you keep lying, ain't nobody gonna trust you. You see?
Then watch how I do this. I'm taking a modern nursery rhyme and I'm comparing it to mythology or historical mythology. Now I told you historical mythology doesn't mean it's false. It means the way it was told is not real, but it has a moral of the story of it. Doesn't mean the person not real. Doesn't mean the history not real. Maybe the way it's told is not 100% real. This is what I mean by that. All right, so how Humpty Dumpty can be compared with Lucifer Azrael. Just go to the moral of the story. Okay, let's go to the next one. Lucifer, for thou hast said thine heart, I will ascend to heaven. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Now, you see how simple that is? What does both of them saying? That he sat at a high place. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Okay? Same similarity of the moral of the story, told in a whole different type of way. All the king horses, all the king men couldn't put Humpty together again. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of the hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, the nephew, and self the Lord. Now, if we understand Lucifer, we understand that Lucifer and Azrael is a man. Because 16 said when we failed, they said this is the man that trembled the nations. We understand Lucifer comes from Saint Lucifer later on that they specifically put in this through translation. Okay, so what the moral of the story is that these two went to a top height, they fell, and when they fell, they never came to that height again. That is the whole moral of both of these stories. Now, one is historical because we understand this is talking about the king of Babylon, so we know this is a historical event that's told in a symbolic way. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, lastly, moral story, I believe, from myth, history, symbolism, moral of the story. Moses split in the sea, I say, is a myth. Moses and the serpent staff, symbolism. Israel established a nation in Canaan, history, meaning that is the main moral of the story is establishing a nation. Does it have to mean that exactly how it happened, how we got there, has to be 100% truth? No, it doesn't. Follow your commands, even if no one else believes. That's the moral of the story. Okay, so something, a real history can have symbolism, myth in it, more other story in it. Does not make the human right, and it does not make the event wrong. It could mean that the between events that happened to get to this point might it didn't happen. That's why Commission at one point said maybe he didn't cross that Red Sea. We know the understanding now is the Red Sea. So now maybe he went up north over top. Does that make the historical, does that make it false? No. It only makes that part not historically true. And that's how you break down history. Now, I think that's it after this. I think that's it.
All right, brother, man. You did a great presentation. Every time you come on,
shit, hold on. I got one more.
Okay,
I got the outro. I didn't even know.
Yeah, outro. That's slide 52. Again, from my research, I teach that all the stories are not real. Some have real history with myths, morals, and symbolism attached. Some are just fable stories with morals and symbolism. Some are influenced by other nations through invading, conquering, and trading. And by knowing and understanding what the Bible, what is in the Bible, you will understand that this is the greatest book ever made. Peace to the God's children of the Most High. All right, man. Tell everybody where they can find your channel. You see what I'm saying, man? So they can reach out to you. Somebody said they want to reach out to you in the audience. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead, bro. Life Death Conflict TV, you know, that my YouTube ain't don't be doing too good because I ain't really a good promoter. You know, I got somebody help me promote. But my Facebook, Eric the Mad Science of True Knowledge, and that's on TikTok and that's on Bing. Eric the Mad Science of True Knowledge, and then my Instagram is True Heart 30. Okay, Eric the Mad Scientist True Knowledge, because my last name is True Heart. So you know what Facebook do. My first page was going to jail, so I changed it. You know what I mean? Made this name up for it. And I just kept it. Okay. All right. Well, we got. Thank you, Sosa. Thank you, Sosa. Anybody got a question for for Mad Scientist? Go ahead and get it out there.
Yeah, Mad Science, big ups to you, bro. And I didn't see all of it, but what I saw, man, was powerful, man. And I wanted to rise just to acknowledge your information, especially when you was talking about those Nubians, and at different times, different people controlled. We know during the time of our sojourn in Egypt, there came a time that a foreign king ruled over us. That king became troubled because of our prosperity, how we had prospered. And that king feared, as it is described in Exodus chapter 1, that we will use our influence and free ourselves and kill them. So he said, come and let us deal wisely with them. That was a Hyssos king. I believe I know what king it is. I'm not sure, but I believe I know what king it is. And it has Moses' name in its title because that king was known as Moses' brother. Because Moses was raised in the house of Pharaoh, and his father raised Moses as a son and brother to his son. And he was a Hyksos king. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, man, one thing you touched on was about us. Why is it you think that we're the only people on the planet that don't have land attached to our sovereignty? Is that a
I
coincidence?
think. Oh, my
Yeah,
bad. I
was
let
it,
you.
is
I
it
thought you asked the
coincidence
question.
or intentional? I'm done.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, what I can say is that as a people of North America, and I've been telling people this many times, we are not the same people. You know what I'm saying? Now, we can say we Israelites. That's fine. Somebody be Israelites, but some are Hemetics over here. Some are other nations that's not a part of the Israelite nation. Now, the reason the Israelite nation doesn't have a nationality or nation because we haven't got together and understood this book correctly. We are separating ourselves from what the books say instead of just getting together and building on it. When other nations have problems with stuff, when they talk about the Nicaea, when they had a problem, what did they do? They had a whole council meeting and they sat together and they said, we gonna figure this out. That's what I believe most nations do. I think it's just a separation of the teaching. It becomes to a point, and that's why I say it comes to a point where we're arguing over things that doesn't even really matter in the Bible. And it's cool to have a debate on it, but when it separates you, when you have 100 different camps, and then you talking about a nation, then we are foolish because that means they don't even know what a nation is. How can you start something you don't even know what it is? A nation is land. So if you don't have land from the first, you ain't never gonna be a nation. Then you have to have laws to be able to control your land. Then you have to have control of the nutrients and of the materials that's of the land. Then you have to have trading with other nations. We don't have nothing of that. Most of us, or all of us, are religious. That's why I respect more of the Moors and like Mighty Hebrew and Demona. At least they went over there and tried to create a nation. The natives, the Moors, I talk about sovereignty, just like the indigenous Americans.
Sovereignty,
The
yeah.
only people who so it's what I'm saying is the separation of everything and us really not understanding what nationality means.
Right, right. That's why I wanted to ask JJ, because JJ has a passion, and mostly he's correct when he talks about the American native. The Paleo Indians been here for thousands of years before Israel was a nation. But is it possible that all of us are not the same? Is it possible that Israel did come to here earlier than what we thought? Is that a possibility?
Actually, must be, let's
oh, you
revisit
talking
some
to Ginger?
books.
Okay.
Huh?
I said,
Yeah, I was talking to Jay.
is it possible that it wasn't recorded? Could be a possibility. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, would they have
That's a great
recorded?
answer. That's a great answer. I accept that answer right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there are a lot of, not just Mississippi guy, in South Carolina, my son, Nabai, you see him on Facebook. He belongs to a group here in Bluffton. They have a chief and everything, man. As a matter of fact, they've asked me to come in. And I would start as a chief. But that's not what my mindset is. But my son has already paid for his citizenship. He has a driver's license, an indigenous driver's license. He's no longer a United States citizen. And he belongs to some tribe, Kuchu. I'm not going to begin to try to pronounce it. But if you look on his Facebook page, a lot of that information, and these are people that are native to the Hilton Head area. They are not people like I came here. I moved here. They call me a Binyan, a Cumyan. I'm a Cumyan because I came here. The people that's been here all the time, they refer to them as Binyans. Yeah, they got their own language here. The blacks in Hilton Head got their own dialect. And if you hear them talk, you got to listen to them. You know, some might call it Geechee. Some might call it, I can't think of the word now, but it comes out of Sierra Leone. It's the opposite of Geechee. I can't think of it, but they talk about that Choctaw, that Blackfoot, that Creek. So
you're saying that it might be a possibility that some few books is missing. They ain't telling us how they got over here. So do you believe like the one west way of how they got over here, the second address?
No, because I don't believe in the chart, because if I have to accept the chart, there's definitely a group of people not on that chart that need to be on that chart, because their language, which is called, Commission might know something about this. Their language, the Filipino people, they go back to Negroids. They'll tell you that their original people were black people, were Negroids. And a residue of them is still in the Philippines.
Negrito?
Yeah, Negritos.
Right. And the name of the language is Tagalog. Tagalog. You can look it up, Google it, because they still speak it today. It's Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew. They speak Paleo-Hebrew. It blew my mind when I saw it, man. They got a whole community in the Philippines. They worship Yahweh.
Right.
They call themselves Yasharallah. They use the same language I use, except they have 5 more alphabets. They got
Apostle. They only believe in one God, huh?
One God.
Okay.
Yeah.
One God.
Now,
I'm saying, why ain't they on the chart?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're just trying to cover a general area. We know what they, they just, come on, we'll leave them alone about that. So yeah.
But look, I'm
compared to Hebrew.
I'm Powhatan. You know, my family is part of the Powhatan Nation, the Pamunkey tribe, and the Matapani.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what Pocahontas is. Now, Pocahontas came to where I'm from, called Henrico, before she was sent to Europe. If you look on the picture of our symbol, it's Pocahontas, a black woman. The only thing they did was kind of straighten her hair.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So just like the red skin image on the helmet, that's a
Right.
black person. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? It just to me, through Pan-Africanism, we are taught that everybody supposed to come from this place and look like this. But if you look at the sand people, they don't look the same. It don't matter. Thousands of years ago, they mixed. Everybody
Right.
mixed up.
Right.
Nobody's 100%. So people saying that 100% stuff is lying. But what I'm saying is right.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's ladders that I've seen. Now I don't know if they're saying the ladders real. It's ladders that I've seen where a guy from Europe came over here and he went to a certain tribe in America, and they was following the same traditions as a Hebrew would follow, or Jewish people follow. It's actually a teaching that they had at first. That's why I say I don't believe in these DNA the things that they be doing as far as trying to figure out where everybody nationality, the tribes and shit was from, because they first said the Native American was Jewish. Then Mongolian. Then they said Jewish.
Right.
Now somehow it's a Siberian.
Right.
And the Indian today does not look like the ancient Indian, and the ancient Indian does not look like a Siberian. So that's why I
Right.
said we got to be careful what these people do.
And everybody didn't come
You
to
know,
America
they'll tell you that their science is upgrade. It must be a reason why they just switched it up. Why they saying that upon further research, we had come up with this conclusion. You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? How did they just switch it up like that? What you think, Commission?
Because what happened, right? Let's say what happened is, and this is what taught orally through our families, right? That our people that were darker left the tribes. Like my people left power to the reservations, stuff like that, right? We were called mulattoes. Where I'm from, a mulatto was not a white and black person; it was actually an Indian and black person, right? So we started going under the name Negro. So what they did, they kept the European Indian, the Asian Indian, who actually came later on. My brother teachers that came through the later on through the when they worked on the railroads, they actually mixed in. They got in their shit too. You know what I'm saying? Then the Siberians later on. So now I say all these people are stink. We know they didn't kill all the Indians. They only took our names from us. That's what I say. You don't have to be a stink by murder. You could be a stink by taking your name origin away from you.
Right.
Then what they do is they go to DNA. They DNA the tribes that's in the reservations. Now the reservations are tribes that gave up and became Europeanized.
Right.
These are not the tribes that fought. These are the tribes that gave up. Right. So what they do is they already don't bring these people from different places. They don't kept some of the people. They don't got rid of the dark skinned native. And what they did is they take these people DNA and they base it off the whole thing, knowing that ain't no way you could have all these different tribes like Africa and everybody's the same thing. You're not going to Africa right now. The same people are not the same as such and such, and you know what I mean. They're not the same people.
Right. Like
So,
the Messiah is not the same thing as a Fulani. Right? Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just listening.
I was saying like the Messiah is not the same thing as the Fulani. I don't know if y'all heard me.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of get back on something you was talking about, the Kundalini, and like Apostle, did you hear any of that he was talking about the Kundalini and how that's like esoteric, and then I heard it's like some kabbalah teachings. I mean, is this coming from all one teachings where you getting this from, or is it more kind of trying to get your
we got to understand, right, that later on our people as humans, we name these things. So in ancient times, another nation might wasn't called a Kundalini. Okay. And see, that's what I'm trying to teach. So in the biblical form, well, sometimes we say a serpent, it was actually talking about the energy, the same energy as they talk about, but they named it Kundalini. That's what I was just trying to show. You know what I mean?
So that tie into like the tree of life?
Yeah, I mean, it ties into the tree of life because it's really, if you think about it, it's really science. It's really a scientific form of teaching. But it's
crown,
like,
what would the crown be like? What would it be like? The malak? The couture, something like
they call
couture?
Some people call it when they. Some people call it when the energy goes up to the mind, they call it the Christ conscious. I mean Christ mind. You know what I'm saying? But see, we are made of energy, and there's no way we could deny. Like I told people, when I went to the doctor, they said I have an electrical problem.
Yeah.
I have an electrical problem. The electrical parts in your body is what sends the messages down to your nervous system.
Right.
So we are electrical people.
So now, so is God is light. So you agree with? Would you agree with
God
that?
is not. God is not light.
Okay, you know, I debated somebody on that. A new Kakarot.
Yeah, no, God. That's Masonic teaching.
Shout out to Naga World Order.
Yeah, that's Masonic teaching. But I teach that we don't even know. We can't even comprehend what God is. The only thing you can even imagine what God is when you look at yourself in the mirror.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the representation of God.
Right.
Yeah.
You're made in
because
His
God
likeness.
is in you.
Yeah.
So what about the animals you see? That would be a representation of them too, wouldn't it? Or
He didn't say that, did he? He didn't say the animals were made in His likeness. He said man was made in His likeness.
But that's just His creation, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the tree. But in creation, you still should be able to see a creator. You should be able to see that someone made it. Because He even tells you, look at His creation and know that He is real. Somebody made it. It didn't happen by happenstance. Life don't happen that way. And we know that. Life is very strategic. If it's off in any degree, any way or the other, life won't exist. It has to exist under those perfect conditions.
I got a question for the panel. What do they call the followers of Christ after He died?
The first thing I ever heard was people up away, but y'all can expound any way you want.
No, the reason why I'm saying is because when we having these discussions, we got to figure out where each person is taken from. Because like you have some that's Christian, and then you have some that's you get the Jewish people that got up in there. Then you got the Israelites.
Well, I'm gonna say they didn't have a name, and I'm gonna say if they did have a name, they would name by the oppressor, or they would name by the enemy. And what happened is, what happened is they killed off these disciples. They killed them off because they wanted these disciples to teach a certain thing and they didn't teach it. So they killed them off and took that's what I'm saying. From my reason, they took the books and they took everything from these people. You know what I'm saying? And they that's why they go back. If you can't beat them, you join them. Sure. And so when they joined them, they joined in with their paganism too.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Pardon the body, family.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Kamisha? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing real good. I love the measure you brought on the manifest, man. I just want to, support you in the bill and just ask a question real quick, just on everything I heard y'all discussing in the measure. I know biblically, a lot of people don't know the word Christian was given by the Romans.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. But they were actually referred to as Nazarenes.
Right.
That's the real name of what they were. And it actually used that same word in the Arabic as well.
Right.
And so this is how you can fact check certain things, because certain other cultures really preserve the ancient culture of other cultures, even though they may be outside of each other, and for example, the first Christians of Africa were known as the Coptic Christian. What they call the Coptic Christian, really Coptic Nazarenes, Coptic Nazarites. And these were the first people to really take that tradition. And that's why all the books that they are calling Greek are really coming from the Coptic. They come from the Coptic text.
Right.
And that's something the European don't want our people to never know. Because if you do, then you figure out the fact that this thing been talking about your ancestors the whole while. So just getting on, I want to touch a few points, brother, that you made, you did some fiery measures. And like y'all was speaking a few minutes ago when JJ asked you the question about what was the Kundalini called, and the teaching that you're teaching is called esoteric physiology. 30 years ago, and see, I ain't even got into this with our family, but the best text to study that and break the biblical narrative down, I'm going to give them to you right now. God, man, the word made flesh, storehouse unlocked. Another one they have called esoteric masonry. Don't confuse it with masonry, because they were actually teaching Masons in that book that they really don't know masonry. And then you have the other I got all of it. You also have Thinking in Destiny. All of these books deal with the physiological interpretation, the esoteric physiological interpretation. These are like the Bibles of these things. I don't ever really go into these measures because we got to get our people to understand the truth. I touch on them here and there, but I don't go all the way into them like some people try to do. And the problem is, the way I teach is as it is above, so it is within, as it is without, and so forth and so on. And so if we understand that, we understand there's always an oral history connected to what we call an esoteric history. So it's an exoteric history where you see people say, okay, this is a historic event, and people only understand it as that. But then you have that there's a deeper meaning than just Moses splitting the Red Sea. A deeper meaning than just the children of Israel crossing over, because physiologically, the children of Israel represent, the 12 ganglia, as it represents to the body physiologically, and the 12 disciples also have to do with, the 12 cranial nerves. You see what I'm saying? This is when you get into the teaching our brother teach. So this is where you're not rejecting the original text. Now, fools do that. They'll see this esoteric knowledge and cancel out all the historical, they'll cancel it all. I say, and I love our brother E, because he ain't telling you, no, this stuff ain't true. He's just going into the fact that, well, we can't really verify these things, so I'm going to call it myth until we can verify. And even when he called it myth is still rooted in truth. So that's a wise brother there to say that. He know what he's doing.
Hey, let me ask something real quick. So basically, was it this what we dealing with, right? How we be having these arguments. Commission, have you heard of spatial and ethical dualism in Jewish wisdom and apocalyptic literature?
That's New Age philosophy right there.
Yeah.
Right. But this was going, the religious or philosophical doctrine which holds the reality consists or is the outcome of two ultimate principles which cannot be reduced to one more ultimate first cause. Dualistic systems have appeared in physiological, metaphysical, as well as moral forms, both of which have exerted considerable influence on the history of religions, including the history of Judaism.
Let me show you something, Brother Judah. I got something up here, and I want you to see this. And I want you to see it. And you see my screen. Is it sharing right now?
No, not yet. But
okay.
But
yeah, here we go. Right
here. Yeah. See, a lot of these Old Testament guys, they say don't call them Old Testament no more. Don't call them Old. You got to find out exactly, like, are they scenes, or what like, is David coming back? Just like they would have to ask me, my individual. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, like I say, it's always a lot of these cultures, the Chaldeans. I mean, all of them had like dualistic type of the Zoroastrians. It's always a good or evil. But see, maybe the earlier Israelites didn't think like that. But what I'm saying, but you can't get mad at these people because it's a cultural shift, a cultural change, and this is how the writers are articulating to their audience that's there right then and there. You understand? So when people reject things that's changed, you're like, well, that ain't how the old Israelites thought. So that couldn't be right. They added that. But we wasn't back there. But as time go on, the teachings or the culture changed. So like I say, maybe it was more influenced when they got around the Zoroastrians, the Persians. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying, Apostle?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I'm gonna tell people again, because I don't want people to keep calling me that. I'm not Old Testament or New Testament. I question both, and that's the problem that I have with a lot of people. They think I'm just one. I question both, but what I'm saying is, even if we can say from the beginning that this story was this way, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying through invasions, through influence, through all these things that happened in the Bible, that this story changes because symbolism and mythology and all that stuff, but the things that still keep in touch with it most of the time is symbolism and morals. It's always the same of the more is you can change the story 100 times, you can change the characters 100 times, but if it's the same moral of the story, it's the same moral of the story. And that's just what I'm trying to show of part of that.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Eric, honestly, man, I question the old. I question the Bible, period. In its form.
Yeah.
The English version of the Bible, I question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because I know it's not the original manuscript.
Let me say this right here real quick.
Because the people translated don't have the same mindset.
Right.
That's what it is. They don't have the same mindset as we do.
In the Old Testament, I can show you problems in the New Testament. I'm not the one that says that the Bible is inherently 100% accurate. I'm not that one. Because I would be lying to myself.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm trying to speak in support of what you were saying, and I'm trying to show our people the sources and give you also, brother, more measure where you can do more research into the information as well.
Thank you.
That's what this is all about.
Before you do that, I just want to reply to somebody's comment who said it took a lot of work to put in. Yes, I put a lot of work in, and I'm gonna let y'all know I do this on my cell phone. I do not do this on computers or nothing. So yes, it was a lot of work.
Wow.
Hey, you need to show me how to do it on my cell phone because my computer done.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I got you.
I can't imagine doing that on my cell phone. I couldn't imagine it.
So yeah, well, what it say, brothers? It says, I ain't gonna read the whole thing. That's why I tried to take the smallest comment because I don't want it to really drag out long. But it says, we have contradicted ourselves in opinion of the earth's shape, the distance to the sun. Now, these are doctors now that have broken these things down physiologically here. These are doctors that wrote this book. And it says the divisibility of elemental gases, the circulation of the blood, the reality of hell, and the devil. Now, this is from the 1930s to 1920s too, by the way. It says, and other subjects too numerous to mention. Then shall we forever wrangle over the contradictory statements of dead men who wrote in their day as best as they might with the light and data that their command. It said, with no thought that people in future ages will war to death or live with hate in their hearts. It says, for their fellows who differ with them on baptism, the size of Noah's ark, or whether a prophet swallowed a fish or a fish swallowed a prophet. So much for the old world belief that the scriptures, writings are records of men and women in places geographical, historical, etc. These wonderful statements are fables, parables, allegories dealing with the chemical, physiological, anatomical, and astrological operations of the human body, fearfully and wonderfully made. Great are the symbols of being, but that which is symbol is greater, vast to create and beheld, but vaster the inward creator. So basically in this text, and like I said, I ain't gonna go through all of this, it talks about all the stuff that this brother was talking about, but in detail. It go into all the books that was cast out of the Bible, you know, like the different books of the Kabbalah, the different books, any books that the Catholic Church didn't want to deal with. You know what I mean? Just basically it goes into also explaining, you know, that when you deal with all these books, and I see a lot of y'all probably got these, like the books of Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
The Lies of
got it.
Adam and Eve, the Apocalypse, you know, all these books.
Yeah.
They're telling you that these were rejected books. And I got a lot of them
The
myself.
Enoch book, I don't have the Moses book,
Right, you know what I'm
but I
saying?
got the other ones.
So
Go ahead.
all of these books, they saying that they really held the esoteric knowledge. Now, this is the dictionary where I won't have to go through the book. Listen to how they define these things. It said names will be explained, and they're going to be according to the definition y'all already know, but they're just going to go deeper. It says the object being to show that the 66 books of the whole holy book was 66 statements by 66 different writers about the same identical subject. This is what our brother Eric is saying. The same story being told in many different ways, right? But it goes into 66 different writers about the same identical subject. The human body is chemical operation and the planetary positions impinging to create and bring into physical manifestation the visible universe. So they say Adam, it means earth or flow of the spirit energy, dammed up. Now that's a little deeper than the regular definition you know Adam to be. Eve, mother of all living, ether, pure spirit, mother of God, water, fluid, Essie. This is all going back to where they got this from, Gray's Anatomy, as well was put in here. Cain, what is guiding acquisition, a spear, a smith, a worker. You know, like they say, for example, Cain is symbolic to masturbation. The reason they say this, they say because you moving with a javelin, and the more you spill, you know, your life force, you actually weaken yourself and you basically make it hard to heal. Not even just the masturbation, but sexual intercourse.
Right.
Too much of sexual intercourse basically kills the life force within you. So this is dealing with having to know a knowledge of mastering all these types of behaviors, which ain't easy. If one is not able to master these things, one is not able to build up the materials in the body that are necessary to build the body and heal the body. It's saying if you save your life force, some people call it celibacy or whatever you want to call it, it actually causes a transformation in the body, the blood and everything. So this is what they get into in this book, God, Man, the Word Made Flesh. Abel, transitoriness, breath, vapor, moisture, you know, which is absorbed and killed by Cain. The activities that tear down the life force. You see, it also has an effect on how long we are able to hold the breath of life in this body. Because if this body becomes unhealthy, then you're going to get up out of here. You see, Set, which represents the seed, or seedling, or the germ. Man, then they went back to Adam, woman, womb, and a womb in man. Mankind, the regenerative womb, or manger in the solar plexus, because this is where the seed of life come forth. When we come into puberty, brothers, at the age of 12, it settles there. Now, had we not begin in what they call riotous living, that's referred to in the biblical text, and riotous living meaning having sex out of turn. You know, we start early in our culture. But had we not got caught up in that type of sexualized environment, family, it's saying that we would be able to more regenerate the body. But being in the West, everybody is taught that behavior. They begin destroying their body at an early age. So Bethlehem, which is the solar plexus, symbolically is called the house of bread. We know that's the name of Bethlehem, the word Beth and bake. You see? And it says Nod. Nod represents flight, Cain, which is absorbed and killed Abel, which is the moisture and vegetation that sprang up, the shoot movement. That's the life force. You know, it talks about the marriage of the earth and water. Joshua being Jehovah in salvation, son of the noon or the fish. You know, Moses being drawn from the water. That's the Old Testament story, because in the New Testament, it speaks of Jesus being baptized, you know, in relation to dealing with the house of bread and talking about the Jordan. The Jordan is symbolic to the spinal cord. In the Old Testament, it's Moses being drawn from the Nile. So the same story is being told, but in the Old Testament, Moses is the one. In the New Testament, Jesus is the one based on the mythos. So it says that Abraham, Abram means high father, father of elevation. This is dealing with what they call in the top of the brain, the center part that they call the soft spot. Heaved up place, heaven is what they call it in this book. The father of the multitude. The multitude represent those same Israelites that I spoke of that are within the body of man. You see, Aaron represents the enlightened Buddha of the third eye. You know, and the Mount Horror represents the elevation of one's consciousness. So I ain't gonna go no further into it, but the PDFs are online, family. Go into it and read it, and you will be able to understand that. I want to say this to our family that may be biblical and don't understand what we are not saying, you know, that this is the way you interpret the book and your way is wrong. We are telling you right now, this is what an adept do. We reveal things that people try to keep from you. And this is what Masons are teaching behind closed doors, like our brother E said. You see what I'm saying? They teaching this stuff, bro.
Hey, Commission, it kind of got out of order though a little bit, but was it supposed to stay in the order, or they just put Moses? Because Abraham came before Moses.
The way they put the name. No, these are just definitions, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's almost like it's almost going, you know, pretty much in order. Then when they got there, okay, I get it.
Yeah, this is like, see, it got Benjamin and Rachel and all of them down here. These are just definition words.
Right.
You know, this is just words.
What the words mean.
Yeah, I get it, but yeah, it was actually staying in order. You know how the story go in the Bible. Then it went, you know,
but they weren't really keeping with the chronology. I can tell you that's really giving you definitions of what different words say. Like here, it's speaking of the pituitary body, or Gilgal, a circle rolling away place where the 12 stones set up the place of the Passover, a hot depressed district. You know, see, when you go in here, bro, and read it, you understand everything that's being said in here. You know, based on the context.
Yeah, and that's why I said, when you really understand this and start learning this, it's not going to take away or make the Bible false. This shit is going to make it the greatest thing you ever read, because you understanding the symbolism, the morals, the myths of it, and you understand. So when these people try to come and attack you, you know what I'm saying? You know, when a person come and say, does a donkey talk? I say, no, a donkey didn't talk, because we understand that was a vision. And then we understand that symbolism was on top of that. And then we understand that it has more of the story to it. So that's how I look at it and a lot of these atheists, they run away from you because they don't know they don't know how to attack that.
Well, see, but hold on, but now how do people who are interested in learning these symbols and a different way of looking at the Bible, who do they go to? Because I see different people like Alex Vortex. He's teaching. I mean, what can y'all like have a summit and like all you guys get together? I want to see if y'all really agree and what y'all disagree on, and then the stuff that y'all disagree on. That's what I really want to hear. That part. But if y'all got y'all doctors lined up in the back, but then you got because how do the people know who to go to? Because Lex would come up here and say, y'all don't know what you're talking about, and then y'all say he don't know what he's talking about. So really, it's up to the individual on how they take esoteric thinking. You see what I'm saying? Or you got to be in some kind of a set. You know what I'm saying? You just can't jump in and just okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Hey Jude, listen to me, Jude.
But see,
let me tell you what's going on. See, the problem is our brother E said what was correct. See, what it is them people when they come into this knowledge, rather than being able to accept it and still have a respect for the books and the text, they get this knowledge and then say this is all it means, and they reject and try to attack people because they want to bring this knowledge to make it seem superior over everybody else. And that's where they go wrong with the knowledge. So there's nothing wrong with this information. It's the fact that somebody grabbed this information and then say, all right, now that I know this, I'm finna attack people and say what you saying don't mean that. It mean this. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so like in the esoteric,
hold on. Let me answer that before you say another question. When I'm trying to tell people also, that's why I showed that even is different layers from being touched by different people and different aspects of teaching. So, but it still has the moral of the story. It still has the symbolism. But the story has changed. The characters might have changed, but the moral of the story and the symbolism is the same. So somebody can read a part and they take this part of the symbolism that might have came from, listen, let me just make an example. That might have came from Greece. And then Kamisha might get it from Kemet. He might look it from a Kemet eye. then this person might look at it from this culture eye. You see what I'm saying? But is all three of us saying a different thing? No, we saying the same exact thing, but we looking at it from a different lens. But the symbolism and the moral of the story is the same.
The same thing.
Now, okay, well, listen. Let me just ask y'all this. Okay, I mean, y'all teaching esoteric, so is it okay if JJ asks a question? I'm not trying to tear that down. Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this, mad scientist. Esoterically thinking, and what you learn is Jesus Christ, the serpent in the garden.
I'm an Old Testament person, but I'm gonna try to answer that. But I mean, not Old Testament. I'm not a Jesus in the way y'all look at Jesus. I tell Jesus people that I do believe he was a being, but he was a prophet. Like he wasn't the son of God.
Was that serpent? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me make sure it's clear. So you don't want, so you can't really use Jesus. So is Yeshua?
No. I'm explaining through Jesus. What I'm saying is the historical man can be real, but what if he didn't die on the cross?
No,
does that make him not real?
Yeah.
See, that's the point that we're trying to make when we say this. We're saying it's different layers, and some people are looking at it a different way. I'm saying that the whole story might don't be 100% right because it has symbolism in it. So that doesn't, if like he said, until we can understand that it's truth or not. Now, if we find out there's truth, then that's different. But
okay, maybe you misunderstand my question.
Let me say this.
Hold on, no, wait, because I want him to understand me clear. I want a direct answer. This ain't no, respectfully, brother. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying your viewpoint, esoterically, of your studies and thinking. Would you come to the conclusion? Okay, I'm just saying some of the teachings is it's Kabbalah. I mean, you got different stuff in there. You got Gnostic teachers in there. The Gnostics are esoteric, So when I'm asking you, Gnostic in the Gnostic, would that be a Gnostic teaching that Jesus, that the serpent in the garden is Jesus Christ?
And I'm saying through translation.
And if so, what's the what's the moral of that?
Okay, I'm saying through translation. And through influence and through other things that happen. Again, that the story, that the history, that he could be a historical person, but he also can be the serpent symbolically, because there's a point in the story that might be symbolism. And some say the serpent on the cross is the symbolism of the story, not the fact of the story. So okay. that's what I'm saying. Like when you read, like when I said about Moses,
there is no serpent on the cross. There is no serpent.
Y'all not understanding. Y'all not understanding.
Hold on, Apostle, let him finish, bro. And then you can. I mean, no, he talking about the serpent, the healing serpent that Moses held up, and then sometimes the serpent represents healing. Okay, let me. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. That's the symbol. That's the symbolism part. So somebody like Lex might look at that and say, "Oh, that the Jesus is the serpent." That's what I'm trying to say. But he's not saying the historical man is the serpent. He's saying the way that story is told and way them two verses fit, it could be the serpent as a symbolism.
Yeah. Okay, I'm walking with you now. Now, listen to this. Okay, so in that story, what we're reading, we're not. So we should look at it in a different light, because really that serpent is telling them the truth, and then all the good things start happening to them after he told them the truth. What happened after that? Did good things happen to them, or were they living better? What's the moral of the story with this serpent?
That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm making from my thought. I'm not telling nobody else thought. From my thought, ain't no serpent ever talk, and won't no serpent ever at the tree, because Adam and Eve was created. Even if it was written by Moses, it was written damn near 3,000 years later.
Yeah, well, that's all
So
right.
we
The
know
Holy
that it's
Spirit
not a
gave them the
historical
story.
event.
We know the Holy Spirit.
We know
gave
that
them the
part. So
story.
I mean, if you looking at it as I said esoterically, what
Right.
would be the meaning?
You
If
can't combine those two stories. You can't take the serpent on a stick and then make it apply to the garden.
Right.
It doesn't apply to the garden. If y'all understand what both symbolism mean, you understand it's the same symbolism.
But the point
It's not
is,
about putting the story together. Y'all are looking at the, y'all talking about the story. Listen.
All right, hold up. Everybody chill out for a second. Look, just chill. Just hold on. Let me get back order. Let me get back. Okay, listen. Let me hit you with your question again, man. I promise you, I'm not trying to tear nothing. I'm trying to understand this.
I mean, I answered it like 3 times, man.
So how do y'all? Okay, symbolism. So is also Christ a lion? Is it
that's
snake in the garden?
symbolism.
Is it?
That's literally symbolism. Is he a lion? If I say you a snake right now, are you a snake?
Okay, but okay, let's get back to the what is the moral? What's the bro? What is bro? Listen, I promise you, man. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna question. You know what? Because
I mean, yeah, y'all don't question y'all don't be questioning nobody else like this, man. Like y'all don't be doing nobody else like this. So
bro, you say y'all. I was like, bro,
don't nobody else do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all now.
Okay. Hold on. I'm finna go.
I don't come to y'all and say nothing false and fake. I'm teaching what I teach, just like y'all teach what y'all teach.
I just asked the question, bro.
And say that what y'all telling is real. I don't want to do that. That's not what my purpose. I don't debate.
I just want to.
I don't do that,
bro. Bro. Okay, let me ask somebody else. Okay, just say no. I mean, just.
Let me help bring balance.
Wow.
Can I say
man, I mean, hold up, bro. I gotta hold up. Now I'm gonna leave your show, man, because I don't want nobody saying I messed it up. No, I cannot ask a question, bro, without I mean, you and Apostle didn't have to go back. It wasn't that serious, bro. I'm saying I'm trying to get can I get time to talk? All right, hold on. Let me say this, bro. It don't make sense to me. What is I'm asking anybody on the panel, what is the moral if it's an esoteric moral to each of these, because we ain't looking at it right. You know, sometimes, you know, we got to look at it in a different light and connect to your top chakra and your third eye and all this, right? Your spiritual Christ consciousness.
Let me ask you.
Right. Hold on. Let me get into my esoteric way of thinking. Hold up, bro. Bro, yeah, come on, man. Don't even act like I'm causing confusion. Don't do that, man. Now, all I'm saying is, what could anybody, none of y'all have to answer this for me. I'm throwing this out there. They running around here talking about, nobody on this panel, I promise you. They're running around here talking about esoterically because the gematria add up for Messiah and serpent. And all this, and it means resurrection, and the lion is like the roar of Judah, the tribe, and so this must be this. We mix it and match it. How is it sound doctrine? That's all I'm asking, because everybody has
because we don't go under doctrine. That's what y'all not under doctrine.
And guess what I said in the audience, man, brother? I said this is his own understanding of, because somebody was trying to come at you. I said, well, bro. I don't care if they come out. I don't care about what they come after.
Hey, Jude, I don't care what they. I'm not trying, bro. I'm one of the people who want truth,
bro. I'm for truth. I was sticking up for you, bro. I was stick. Listen, man. Everybody too touchy, man. Everybody too, bro.
Statement, and I'm done.
Apostle, let me hold on. Let me get. I don't want this brother to leave here and think that JJ did something wrong. So hold up, Apostle. Thank you, bro. Look, Eric, bro, I promise you, bro. I was not trying to, man, bro. All I asked is, can somebody, because I'm confused. I'm here to learn. Can anybody out there tell me?
But you won't let nobody answer you, bro. Every time
that's what I'm saying.
Right. And I'm talking to you as your brother.
You're dominating the show, man.
I'm trying to tell you, brother, that the conflict, I want to show you what a conflict comes
but before you do that, when did I get to speak on this show? Everybody had the panel. I haven't said nothing. I sat back. So now that I asked a question,
we saying you asked a question, then you making it seem like we're jumping in front of you. We're trying to answer it.
Okay, Eric. So Eric, can you? Okay, let's start back with Eric then. Without anybody yelling, brother.
And see that if you go to my presentation, that's why I said people got to look at. I don't know if people seen the whole thing. Your mic was doing something and had to jump in. I told people that by influence, invasions, okay, different traditions from other places, it is layers that's putting on to here. Just like Apostle was saying, I'm talking about the translations and I'm putting it into English. The it's layers. Some people only looking at it certain way. So when you argue with somebody like Lex, he's only looking at it at a symbolic way. He's not looking at it as the historical way,
And that's
as
my
the moral
point,
side of the
brother.
story,
And that's my
as the
point,
myth way.
brother.
He's not looking at
I
it that
said
way.
each individual is different with it. I said in the audience, brother, listen, when somebody said something like, man, you know, you doing it. I said, well, we can't knock him because he has you have your own, everybody has their own individual understanding. I'm trying to see where you coming from with this when you relating and mix and matching that stuff. That's all, brother. I'm not trying to hurt you or tear nothing down. And this whole show, everybody on this panel had a turn to speak and go on to length, and all that do was come out and ask a question. Now JJ can't shut up. Well, I'm gonna jump off the panel and let y'all have it, man. Hey, I'll let y'all have it, bro. I'll let y'all have it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Commissioner.
I wasn't replying to you.
Let me answer this.
No, I want to hear Commissioner. I want to hear Commissioner. He was next.
I was next.
Commissioner, go ahead, bro.
Let Apostle go because I don't want to go back and forth over our brother.
You see what I'm saying?
I go after him. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Apostle.
I mean, I was next. Before Commissioner asked to speak, I've been trying to get this one question.
Bro, let me just say something to you, bro. Don't come over here and try to keep up confusion. Then you go promoting the FOP Academy, and you're over there with them trying to say, "Look at undisciplined over here." Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. I'm just saying.
No confusion here.
All right, go ahead. I can promote them. I don't. Hey, FOP Academy, go join the. I don't have a problem with saying their name, but they got y'all over there that you can't even say my name. What is that?
Hold on, Apostle. Please don't. I'm just saying. Please don't say what I can and cannot do. Come from your information of your side, because you yes, you did say that. You said you can't put this together and that. Yes, I can do that.
No,
I'm a grown man. I can do whatever.
When did I say that?
You did say that.
Jay, he can't put this on me. This confusion.
No. I'm talking about we were talking about Jesus. You said you can't put them two stories together. I'm saying I can put them together. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I got.
Well, I mean, you just don't know. They just say that. Don't say it like you know and I don't. That's what you're trying to make it seem like.
Not that I don't know.
I'm gonna get up out of here, Commissioner. I'm being the audience, bro. Man, I'm sorry, bro. If y'all feel I messed up the show, man, I'll let you ask a question.
JJ. I wasn't talking to you. I told you I'm talking to Apostle what he said. That was.
Are you talking to Apostle? I thought you talking to me. Yeah. See, okay, bro.
I won't manage your question.
Oh, okay. All right.
See, Apostle, you telling me I can put them two things together, and that's what happened.
Well, then you put them together then, and I will be glad to listen to that. But one is in the New Testament, and the other's in the Old Testament. So that's all I'm saying. And another thing I want to say, if you
we can debate on that, man. We can debate. Anybody in the comments got a problem? We can debate. Because I'm tired of anybody thinking I'm dumb. We can debate.
Anybody that says Christ did not die on a cross, you are questioning all of our salvation. Our salvation depends on him dying on a cross.
Your salvation does. Your salvation does. Just get that understanding. Your salvation.
And anybody else that believe like I believe in Yahushua, anybody, for anyone to question Yahushua, what you're saying is salvation does not exist.
Okay, let me ask you this, Apostle.
If Christ did not die on the cross, then there's no salvation.
Let me ask you this, Apostle. When they poked him in the skin, did he squirt out blood? Did he squirt out blood?
When they poked him where?
In his side.
When they pierced his side, the scripture says he poured out water and blood. It was urine.
Okay, so do you spurt out water and blood if your heart dead?
If you punch in my side and hit my spleen, you will affect water.
So it doesn't say it hit his spleen. Doesn't say. Okay, all right. Well, it don't say it hit his spleen. All right. When Mary, hold on. Let me ask you this: when Mary went, because it ain't say spit hit no spleen, but when Mary
didn't say that,
went inside, hold on. Let me ask you. When Mary went inside.
Hold on. Stop for 1 minute. I gotta get order. See, Apostle, I'm serious, bro. Now, when you over there, they talking about, we had discipline. Hold up, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about. and then they want to record it. Look, JJ can't keep control of his panel. So I'm gonna tell you this right around, bro. That brother was speaking, and you cut right in again.
He
I want to hear
asked me a
commission,
question. I
bro.
was answering.
Yeah, but it's not a question for you to answer right now. It's a
Right,
it's-
bro.
I was
Hey,
Hey, Karima, mute him. Bro, you gotta go. You gotta go. Go keep up confusion over there, man. You gotta go.
And you know what, JJ? Just for y'all, I'm not even gonna speak on this because is that my intent is not to go against Jesus. My brother, like I told people before, my brother believe in Jesus, bro. Like my mama believe in Jesus. I'm not a hater of Jesus. I go by my own results. So
Okay, listen,
I'm not
bro. I mean, bro, I never said nothing. You didn't gotta explain that to me. No, you don't have to explain that to me.
I know that. I ain't saying that to you. I'm just saying. I'm just letting everybody.
Hey, Karima, mute. Hey, Apostle, bro. I'm for real. You gotta go. Get your ass out of here, man. Because go over there and plot with them and do all this. Because all you coming over here is being deceitful, man. Everything's combative with your ass, man. Stay away from
because
here,
I'm not
man.
even. I wasn't like if you see my whole presentation, it was not just about no Jesus or the New Testament. It was about, and that's the problem I'm trying to say, that people would take what I say and they take it personal, and now they want to debate over something that I'm not even trying to teach. Yeah, I'm not even trying to teach that.
Hey, see, the brother kept it academic. Nobody was yelling and screaming until you come over here, man. Stop it, bro. And then you keep coming over here disrespecting the panel, and you just still come back in here like ain't nothing happened. But then I didn't see you doing that over there, the other platform. Man, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. See, but you see how bad he is with it. He'll say, "Oh, that was a great presentation. I agree with you saying," but there's something he don't like. Then he said, "Oh, it's not real." That's what I'm trying to say. You can't say that. You just don't agree. If a person say they believe in the whole Jesus story and he died for your sin, I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with that. It's only when somebody come attack me with it. That's it. That's it.
Like
I don't. My mama believe. My mom believe when she died right now, she's going to see Jesus. I don't tell my mama, man, Jesus don't. I used to argue with my mom all the time until I realized she been believing this man for 65 years. She gonna die believing in him. And it's not my job to tell them. It's not to tell them that. It's only my job to research myself, and whoever want to learn with me learns with me. It's not teach. I don't go around teach everybody this. People come to me and say, "I want to learn this." I teach it to them.
Hey, was that brother interrupting? Hey, was that brother interrupting you or not? Tell the truth. Was I wrong for removing him? Huh?
Yeah, he was.
Right. Then
and it's sad I look at him as an elder. You know what I mean? And it's like because what made me mad is he telling me what I can't do. We all three of us are grown men. We are grown men.
That's what he want to do, bro. Man, go keep that confusion up somewhere else, man. Damn. All right, go ahead, commission, brother.
Yeah, and I just want to say, family, all I was trying to do is stop it before it got to that point. That's why y'all got to let me say what I'm saying. Cause I wasn't trying to build. I was just trying to bring some balance to the conversation. But to answer your question, and this is being straightforward, JJ, I'm gonna tell you the truth about this. When you ask me about the esotericism, what it is, my brother, some of these guys, and you're gonna get exactly what I'm saying, and he gonna get exactly what I'm saying when I say this. Some of these guys, my brother, that's demonstrating esotericism, they're not demonstrating from the side of collective unity. Some of these individuals are demonstrating satanic esotericism, and there's a difference between the two. And in satanic esotericism, they try to make Jesus be the serpent. They try to make Lucifer and Jesus be the same people. You understand? That's that satanic.
Yeah, okay, see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. So how do people know which one to even listen to? Because some of that shit sound, excuse my language, but some of that stuff sounds the same. And then next thing you know, you don't agree with.
But see, JJ, this is what I'm trying to teach you. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't teach. I don't go to nobody and say Jesus is a serpent. That is a call. When we do. When me and hold on. Let me say this for 30 seconds. Let me say this 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
You put me off. I've been listening to y'all.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry about that. My bad.
Bro, what I'm saying is not going against you, E. I'm speaking. I'm letting JJ know that it's the difference. And JJ asking the question, how you know the difference? And I'm finna get to that. When you hear something that desecrates, I'm talking about in a disrespectful way, something that is sacred, that's when you know it's satanic. Your spirit lets you know what it is. If we are into the teachings, we'll know that. So when you deal with basic esotericism, bro, it's taught universally in every doctrine. But that serpent demonstration with the serpent in the garden, you can't put that there. That don't even match. You see what I'm saying?
That's all I was
Jesus
asking.
wasn't in the Old Testament, bro. But what I'm saying when I say that, I'm saying that's where they're getting it from, that satanic expression. Now, when you go into the aspect of esotericism on another level, and you get into the Kundalini, like the brother was demonstrating, you can put that same story in the Old or the New Testament, or different stories in the Old or New Testament, based upon the context of what you're reading about. You know, and it all deals metaphysically in most cases. People that's into that, they're trying to heal their body, the real truth behind it. They're trying to get into the knowledge of themselves, and they are using the text that they study to be a roadmap so that they can do that. Now, some people don't like to teach this stuff openly, because what happens is people that may not understand these things, they begin to look at it and say, oh, well, I'm casting my pearls before the swine. Me, I don't look at it like that. I give you what these people teaching in secret, so y'all will know what you hear when you hear it. And that's what I see coming from the brother E. He giving it to us, you know, but these other people, some are part of them other orders, bro. So
but
you gotta,
how is it in secret and y'all don't, and then they out here flip flopping and mentioning and matching in front of us, and like, I mean, if you want to talk cold to your brothers, go text them or something, man. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I mean, what's the point?
Hold on,
What's the point?
Can I answer what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, like, commission.
And I'm not talking to you, Eric. I promise. I'm talking.
I understand what you're saying. I understand, because I don't agree with it. Me and him don't agree with that stuff they teaching. That's what we're trying to tell y'all. We're saying we're exposing it. We're exposing it to y'all. So what I'm saying is, I'm a research of the Bible. I understand the Bible is not 100% correct when it comes to the teaching of it and the historical events, because of the symbolism that they put in it. So when I'm showing the serpent, which is not a serpent, that they're saying is actually the energy, I'm showing that this is where they're getting it from. You are not going to find no post that say that Jesus is the serpent. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. I'm telling you, this is where they're getting it from. That's why I said I don't teach that. But reason we teach it is to expose this is what they're saying. So, and then you got to understand, like I said, it's different levels. It's different cultures that put their own type of myth and symbolism in it, to where a point is you can look at it 5, 6 different ways and get 5 days. That's why everybody looking at it in a different way, because some people's only looking at it as history. Some people's only looking at it as symbolism. Some people's only looking at it as myth. So that's what I'm trying to say.
So how does this esoteric look, the way you're looking at it esoterically, how does it help us, you know, get on one accord?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna answer that, Judah.
Okay, go ahead.
How through esoteric,
because everybody's understanding is not the same, and everybody don't look at esoterically the same way. So I just, you know, that's why I said it's everybody's individual way of understanding, and that's what people should come out and say when they coming out throwing that out there to the general public.
No, I'm gonna say it like this here, Judah. This is esoteric teaching. When you get to a level of esoteric teaching, brother, most cases real esoteric teaching agree with all esoteric teaching. I'm talking about whether you do it from a Sufistic point of view, because most esoteric teaching, if you're dealing with Sufism, they're going to quote the biblical text that relate to. They're going to quote the Egyptian text that relate to. They're going to quote all of them. So quoting all these sources, showing how they correlate with each other in that esoteric teaching, that's how you bring unity to the people. Now, when you get into somebody that is dealing with satanic, which they don't believe in those scriptures, that's why I'm telling you it's a different interpretation.
Yeah, they turn into their own Bible, the Masonic, the Luciferian Bible, all this old bull.
So they're going against religion at all. So you see, esoteric teaching and somebody going against the biblical teaching is two different things, and that's what I'm trying to show you the difference between the two. When somebody attack religion and then they try to say they esoteric, bro, that's a sign that they don't know what they talking about, or they Luciferian. That's Luciferian doctrine. Real esoteric teaching unite people. It don't divide them, bro. You feel me? Real esoteric teachings can take the teachings from all sources and bring them into unity. You feel me? They can see the oneness where we connect.
Well, what's dangerous is that you get people out here who ain't even been knowing this way of thought. A couple of months now, they out here trying to teach and add their own spin to it. Then it turn to something else. That's
I
happening.
agree with that. I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying, man. Hey, I'm gonna go my own path. You know, whatever I can catch on, I catch on. Whatever, but hey, they keep it, man.
Ain't nobody trying
Hey,
to
no. I ain't saying nobody trying. Y'all can go ahead and present it. On this for everybody, bro. So just listen. This for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not getting offended. All I'm saying, to me, until y'all can come to some kind of, because you have to just sit down with each individual. If I did like 5 or 6 interviews, ask all y'all the same questions like esoterically, or what do you think of, what was the meaning in this story? Speaking esoteric, do you think? Some of it could be just common sense. Okay, we know what that means. But then, but some of them be putting their own, like I said, that's why y'all should be checks and balances if y'all trying to teach this. Say, wait a minute, now she messing up with this, and this ain't no knock. This ain't no knock, but the snake in the garden, it's got to, and Lex, you teach it too, but he said he got his from gematria. Well, that add up as the serpent add up the same number as with 1,726.
Where that come from?
Yeah, and Hebrews in the Hood told him too.
That's Luciferian doctrine. I'm telling you that. But what I'm saying is that.
Well, do he know this, or he just thinking he going see somebody that misled him?
Yes, he know. We just say he's a Mason. We've been saying the man is a teacher Mason.
Telling you Lucifer, bro, and Jesus is the same person. That's
well, what? Okay. So listen to this.
Somebody and what they say and tell where their teaching comes from, bro. That's the Crowley doctrine that man teaches.
Alice Crowley.
That's all that same stuff. That's
right.
Albert Pike teaches Lucifer and Jesus is the same. That's that Luciferian doctrine. That's why I'm saying.
So if he's supposed to be teaching it, then what the hell is he blabbing? So he didn't really. So he just teaches something else that they really don't even teach when he come on here. He making shit up. Is that what you're telling me?
He's trying to teach it to tear the doctrine down so we turn away from belief. His goal is you heard him say they want you.
Hey, Lex, you got some explaining to do, man.
That's why I said y'all is my foundation of any research. Meaning y'all told me don't trust anything. He told me don't trust men. He told me don't trust strange doctrines. So when I question something, I have to try to find an answer to it. That's why, and I tell people I don't. Hold on. I don't teach this. When I say I don't teach it, meaning I don't go and tell people the snake, the Jesus is the serpent. I'm telling people that.
But no, I'm just getting your opinion on like the esoteric.
No, I know. I'm just trying to get the people that's listening to the comments. I'm saying that when Lex says this Jesus is the serpent, he's speaking in a symbolic form, but he's trying to make you believe he's speaking in a physical form. So the man Jesus is not a snake. No.
Let me tell you something, bro. He said, listen what he said. This the document. It said that the serpent was telling the truth, and the council of Elohims was the one that was lying. The one that had the conversation and said, do not touch from this tree, for that day you will surely die. They said that person was dying. So I'm asking symbolically, esoterically, what is the moral of this? Is it some kind of duality that we can flip and flop them and match them at any time? Somebody needs to
it is no morality of that part of the story.
I'm telling you, there is no more, and it's BS. We against it. I'm telling you, that's satanic doctrine.
Right.
Defend that.
It is.
I'm telling you, it's satanic.
And that's why I told you. That's why I told you. If it doesn't have a moral of the story, then it's not really originally from us. That's my whole teaching is we have a teaching, but it has been tampered with these other pagan cultures, and we have to find it again under y'all. It's not saying that this stuff is fake and we need to throw it away. It's saying we need to understand the history and what happened to us, like because there's no way we've been in captivity 8-9 times and we believe these books stayed intact and 100%. We have to understand that.
Okay, let me tell you where she got that from. It's called The Secret Book of John. Y'all go look it up.
I know where it comes from.
and it say that, that's where she got it from. I've been new. I just ain't saying nothing. Man. I've been trying to wait for somebody.
But I have all them books, man. I have a joke. I know. I told you I know where she get that stuff from. It's just we are telling.
Now, but the thing is, brother, I was trying to cut you off. If you're going to be introducing this to the public, Just say, look, I got this from the secret book of John. This is
Exactly.
what it teach. Now
Exactly.
you can believe it or not.
Exactly.
Ripley, believe it or not.
I see what you're
But
saying.
you know,
Judah saying, don't just come forth teaching the teacher saying this what it is, and don't tell the people where you get the source from.
that's all I'm saying.
You
I been
know,
knew where she got it
That's
from.
why I said. I mean, everybody must have
Kamisha,
read
is
my
that
whole.
where Eric? Have you ever heard it? It's from the secret book of John.
People must have not seen the beginning of my thing. I'm saying that story is older than the damn book of John. That story is an older teacher than that. Just because the book of John happened does not mean that that's originally where it came from.
Bro,
I'm
what
saying
you
these
talking
things
about?
are
I
passed
said the
down.
secret book, brother. I said the secret book of John is where Nepal is getting that story from about the serpent.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
About
She might be
Christ.
getting that story from there. I'm talking about what I was coming from. I didn't get it from the secret
I
book
didn't
of John.
see the whole presentation, bro. I'm just conversation on the panel right now. I didn't see your whole.
Yeah, that's what I understand it. That's why I say I'm explaining what I'm trying to say. When I first got on there, I said the book is the greatest book ever if we can understand it, because we have to weed out the lies. If I want to know the truth, I have to know what is a lie. I have to know that. That's my choice to know that. If a person want to keep and believe in what they want to believe, then they can believe that. It's my choice to do that. And it's people that has questions that want to know how come this dude keeps saying Jesus is the serpent. So I say this is why he's saying it, because this is what he's trying to say. This is where he got it from. I showed that he got it from the Kundalini stuff. This is what he getting it from. It's all masonry stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Either you get it from that or that secret book of John. They teaching in there Christ talking about.
Let me say this right here. I want to say something, because a lot of these teachings come out of Kemet, and Masons have tried to claim them as their own. Like the Kundalini, them the teachings of the ancient Hindu Kush, you know, but they got it from the temple of Apetimat. I was telling JJ this because it deals with the one that is known as the god of Apetimat with the lion head and the serpent body. That's at the temple of Amun in the Kushite civilization. The Kushites of India took that over into India, and then they infused that with their Kundalini history. Now, Masons came along later and then started putting the serpent on the cross and trying to connect theirs to the Kundalini. You see what I'm saying? And that's how they mixed it up. That's how, because Masonry ain't old as those teachings. You see what I'm saying? So they would take a teaching, and we call it in our doctrine truth and falsehood strangely mixed.
And what is that? And Kamisha, tell them what that word is called. It's called influenced. And they influence and they put it inside of that Bible. So when you read it a certain way, because it might don't say you. Who knows if they put the serpent or rose up like the man and all that, like the serpent and Moses? Who knows if they put that there? That's what I'm trying to say, and that's why they try to use it.
They did. That's the thing. In the translation of the Bible, we got to remember Masons translated the Bible. So they put those things in there so that those who are initiated in their order, they can say, see, this is what this really means. That's what that really means. Now, the congregation will still believe it as it's taught on the surface, but behind closed doors, this is what that really means. This is what that means. So they're teaching to what they would teach to themselves. They won't teach to who they call profane, or anybody they think is not worthy of that information. That's how they're saying.
So you might well just throw the whole book away then, because if it don't mean what the original Hebrews are talking about, then why are we even working with it?
That's why I say we need to retranslate it and deal with the original text in every text. You see, because they didn't just do that to the Bible; they did that to all texts. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so
Not just the Bible. Yes, Kemetic, the walls, everything.
When you see a contradiction in the Bible or something that don't make sense, bro, that's what a Mason's been tampering with the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? I learned that years ago. For example, when it say, for example, God is a man, but then it'll tell you God is not a man that he may lie, but the son of man that he may repent. And then they say, well, the Lord is a man of war. All that deal with the manipulation of the translator. It don't mean the original text. It was
so here's my
the purpose that was translating it was corrupt.
Right. So how do y'all still work with it then? Trying to decipher what it say if y'all know that the Masons have been tampering with it. So I don't.
Because like I told people, I don't worship a book. I don't believe a book. I don't have to believe a book is 100% true. That's what I'm saying.
Let me answer me. Go
ahead.
I'm gonna tell you how I deal with it, because I understand that's where our people are buried at that don't know. And it is teachings in there that were translated properly, but they have mixed certain hidden messages in there for them, like they did with the shaking the sphere. You know, when you go back to Psalm 146 that Apostle always talked about, all these things was purposely put in there for them to say, okay, this is what it really means to the members. So it don't make the whole text evil. It's just saying that under the cover, they are teaching another doctrine that the common people don't know. You see what I'm saying?
So they slip in different words that shouldn't be in there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like JJ, like what I said, Lucifer, right? We know Lucifer supposed to be like Lucifer. From my research, I'm not gonna say because he might got a different. But from my research, Lucifer, like I said, was the king of a wicked king that failed. That they found out that was a man. Now, when you take the word Lucifer, I researched it and got it back to a man named Saint Lucifer, who was actually beefing, I think, with the Catholic Church. So they went to war. They didn't like him, so they took his name, put him on top of another person. So now it's two different layers on top of one story that you can get two different people from. So that's how I got it from.
Yeah, and so my thing is this right here. What I want to emphasize, Judah, is the fact that's why you hear me saying, and it shouldn't surprise you because this is what I've been saying the whole while. All of these books, Bible, Quran, Torah, need to be translated from us. You understand? We need to translate it. You understand? And so and we can do it. And once we do that, we ain't got to worry about somebody else's interpretation. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
King James, like I said that time when they tried to misunderstand my statement, King James burned his own mama at the stake. He was a homosexual. This is the facts. So he ain't even got no right to be telling somebody else to translate a book. You feel me? So when it comes down to dealing with that, if our people, just like the Egyptian Kemet text, when they be accepting Ewali's Buzz text, it's the same way. Just like the Muslims who accepting the Arabs' interpretation without their own. That's what I'm at. I'm for our people translating their own text, bro, because they can do it. If you have the knowledge, why not do it? And you can take all this stuff out of here. Then you know what you're teaching people. You ain't teaching them that old other strange doctrine after that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I said. My purpose is to bring us back to God, real words and real history of us. That's my purpose. Not to say none of all this shit is fake. Is to say get these niggas out of here and let's get back to what we was really teaching.
What's up?
Yeah, you got your thing going. But yeah, that's what I'm saying too, brother. It's about the unity. So when you get to the real esotericism, like I was saying earlier, that's called the inner doctrine. And each one of our teachings have a teaching that go in, and that's why they have these teachings. For example, in Islam, the internal teaching is not taught by them Orthodox Muslims. The internal teaching is taught by the Tasawwuf and Sufism.
I got a question from the audience, if y'all don't mind. Judah Nazareth has a question for Commission. Okay. Judah, you should jump on, bro. Say, yo, Commission, is Shaddai Napai in the Bible right now?
You want him to come in here? You think that's
I'm about to say, I'm trying to right now. If we give disrespectful, I'm leaving. I ain't saying no bad.
Hold on, no, ain't gonna be no. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody, see, hold on. Let me mute this one.
You think that's gonna be a fruitful conversation?
I want to see if I mean, we gonna have to.
See already. You see what he?
Yeah, you already know, man.
You want to bring that up?
What? Hold on,
I'm gonna get just as disrespect he get. I'm just trying to tell you.
I was speaking to him, but you want to bring that up here right now? That disrespect.
Well, he got something to say. I don't know if he. See, these gonna be top debaters, man. Hey, Judah, if you top debater,
he can speak, but I'm telling you, he gets respect. I'm just leaving. I'm not for that.
Listen. Listen. This is what I do, bro. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get. If we can get something fruitful out of it, we can. And then you got to give people a chance, because
we ain't blocking him. I'm saying, I'm telling you what's gonna happen when he come on.
Well, see, if you're already predestined,
what's the purpose? What's the purpose?
Right, bring him on. I already said I'm gonna do it. So bring him on.
I'm asking the question. What's the purpose? What we gonna learn from going back and forth? Just.
I would like to see why did he disagree? Because if he don't, he ain't requested the thing. I'm just trying to see, what's the disagreement about?
He disagreed. I'm gonna tell you why he disagreed. He disagreed because he's gonna come from a religious standpoint.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about religion right now.
What did he type in the audience to make you say that? I don't be paying attention to the audience, bro.
He said,
I read what he said. I already know what he coming from.
Y'all want to teach false doctrine and then run. What false doctrine?
Okay, Judah.
We just told him we don't have no doctrine. We just told him we're not teaching this. That's okay, wait. They still do it. That's what I mean.
I'm telling you that Masons have been hiding certain things on the messages. What that got to do with teaching? We ain't teaching nothing. We telling you who has been trying to hide the truth.
It's called exposing. It's called exposing.
Hey, Commission.
We talking about relevant to what we talking.
Hey, Commission. At one point, I had tried to set you and him up a talk, right? Was that you and him in the back chat that one time?
Yeah, and I still get up there with him on that.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. I want to see, Judah, can we make this happen?
That's not pertaining to this. Set that up, but that ain't pertaining to what we talking about.
But what is he pertaining his disagreement with? I wanted. Can he come on here and just say, well, respectfully, brother, just the lines then.
Hey, Jude, I said all the time he can come on here, but
I mean, this is Eric's show. This is Eric's show, so he will get the final say so.
Yeah, let him come on here.
I mean, I don't care if he come. I just said as long as he don't call no names on and stuff, because it ain't about that.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, I'm making the chat.
I'm not gonna let nobody but make me believe they know the truth and I don't. That's not gonna never happen. So there's not even no reason to compensate over that.
Everybody thinking everybody. I don't
think I know the truth. I never said I know the truth.
Watch what he do when he comes.
I said I'm trying to find the truth. That's a difference.
Right. Well, if the shoe don't fit, man, don't even let it get your blood pressure up, fam.
Let him up, Eric. Let him up here.
He can come up. I said he can come up. I just told him what I'm gonna do. Once he gets his disrespect, I'm leaving. I'm dipping. I ain't even say I'm not listening to that stuff.
They should come in here based on what you talked about and give their measure based on that. But watch what happens. Go ahead. Let him up. Put him in the link.
Y'all continue to keep building, man.
Hold on. Y'all got me arguing. Please out here. Hold on.
Oh no, but let him up here, Judah, and watch what he do. He gonna redirect the course of this particular show and go to attacking and this false doctrine and niggas this and ain't none of that got nothing to do with what that brother in this show talking about. See, you can't.
I just want listen. I mean, the brother is a former champion over here. Listen. Anybody that's been a champion over here, I always have time. They can always come up here and be restricted. They still at home. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Hall of Champions. It's history in the lines here. So it's like different champions come home. Junkyard Dog and Muhammad Ali and Mike. That's all. It just bro. It's okay. Everybody got different styles. Look, he ain't gonna disrespect me like that. I want to come on here, ask the question. And then maybe maybe I can finally sign that deal that I was trying to get y'all to that discussion.
Bring him up, Judah. Like what I'm
saying. Man, yeah, this is what I do. I'm tired of discussions. I want to see a debate. Discussions is good. It's cool, bro. Don't get me wrong. But pretty soon,
where it don't turn into a debate. I'm talking straight to you. We ain't had a discussion on here yet that ain't turned to a debate, bro.
I'm talking about an official one with judges and
that's being real now. So I'm just saying, let him up here. If you feel like that, what you want to do, it's your show.
No, that ain't my show. Don't worry about it. That's just a suggestion. If he wanted to come on here, he already been on here, bro. So let's.
Hey, what's up, JJ?
Hey, we got another. They go a Christian mystic, everybody nowadays. See, what's up, family?
Can I just want to clear something up, man. I know we disagree, but brothers, so let's stop with the slander, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dude, Commission, I don't know, he may be upset because we disagree. I'm not a member of the Church of Satan, bro. I don't worship Satan, nothing, never mind a fictional character named Satan. So why would y'all keep trying to push that out there? It's probably because you're scared people may listen to the truth and fall away from religious dogma. But you're not supposed to bear false witness.
Now, when you say y'all, who are you saying, brother?
I'm talking about you, all.
Okay, let's start with me. Here. All right, now what did I do? Correct me if I'm wrong, bro.
Y'all keep saying I worship Satan and I'm a.
I never said that today. You can't prove that on tape that I said that.
Yeah, and
maybe you didn't say it,
I don't believe in Satan as a
saying it
being. So
So
directly.
now you bearing
And
false
then,
witness without
no, I'm
evidence.
not. No, it was said
But you
on
just
here.
accused me.
All right, maybe you didn't say that
Well, ain't no
directly.
maybe.
So
You
I
don't. You
will.
should look, brother. I would apologize
All
if I
right,
was wrong.
but you're implying that stuff too.
Oh,
Because you
now
keep
so now you
so
assuming that I'm
hold on.
applying.
So JJ, you didn't say that I was a follower and teacher of Aleister Crowley and some other. You ain't said that.
When was that? The other day? I probably did say that.
All right.
No, I
So
asked you what books are you going to bring to the
all
debate?
right. So that's all I'm saying, bro. And the mad scientist too. He said I'm trying to convince people that the serpent is physical. Like all y'all are confused, bro.
No, okay, no, that's my point. Hold up, stop there. You made a great point. Yes, when you guys are when you just let the regular people read the Bible the regular way, and to all you different teachers of esoteric thinking and thought can come together with one kind of way of agreement, it's confusing. Yes,
No,
and when
it's
we ask questions, don't get mad. You can't.
well, the reason why it's confusing for you
Oh,
is
here it is.
because you think it's supposed to be a dogma. There is no exactly one way to interpret things sometimes.
So
But the
Lex, why do they call it the Luciferian? Hold up, but
God
we're not doing long ones.
Sorry. Okay, bro.
But
Go ahead.
let me ask you a question, man, because y'all don't listen. I got questions for you on this.
I'm trying to clarify things so you can stop talking ignorant about it, though.
Why do they call it a Luciferian type? You got different labels for the satanic, what do you call it? Satanic esotericism. What's the difference? Why is there a different label, brother? It's not all the goddamn same.
Hold on.
So you're not going to come in here and act like, oh, they're getting it. Bro, it is. Come on, mute your mic. Come on, bro. Now, you can go ahead. Just go ahead. You can get into your spiel, bro. But don't come in here with that fairyland stuff, acting like you fooling us. We know there's different ones out there. Y'all, hey, they saying it. Some of them come from Gnostics. Some of them Kabbalah. Some of them come from goddamn Egypt. All these different ones. We trying to just figure out who do we believe. And I even said it's an individual thing. I said that.
Right. So
that's all it is. It's just individual beliefs of what match up and what colors are the same. And this gematria equals 5 points close to this one. So it got to be the Kabbalah's gematria that's closest to it. And all this mysticism, the sun come up before the moon and the stars crackle at night.
What the? Okay,
you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about y'all. You get it?
And hold on, I want to clear up something because I did. What I was saying was you were speaking from a symbolic.
Hold on.
What I was saying was you were speaking from a symbolic way that by you not explaining it in depth to people, they are thinking you are saying it in a physical form, meaning that you saying a human man is a serpent. That's what I'm saying.
You said I was trying to convince people that. That's not what you said before. You said
yes,
and you made it sound
because
like
I feel like you didn't. I said from the depth because you didn't go in depth into what you were saying. So when somebody hears you, that's what JJ is exactly think you saying right now. That you said Jesus, the human being, was a serpent. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
JJ is ignorant. I did a presentation and I did go into all of this. And I don't know how slow you have to be to not understand what a symbol is. And I stressed many times.
Hold up, bro. Nope. Hold up, bro. Listen, bro. You're not going to come over here and talk about nobody ignorant. Now, I was in a debate with one of your students. You was even mad.
I got to head out to work, though. I thank y'all for
the last. Hold on. You can close out. So I catch you next time. No, he got to close the show out. This is
slander. Stop.
Bro,
they got to go to work.
Don't leave, Eric, before I say this to this dude. Now, I'm in a debate with a person. I'm in a debate with a person who's teaching that the serpent in the garden is Jesus Christ. She never said nothing about no goddamn on symbols. Just so cut it out. She said that got to do with me, bro. Because you taught her. You taught her, bro. You taught her, and you was even bragging about it. But you said she was messing it up.
What that got to do with
nothing? Okay, go ahead. Me and you talk about it on the next show, bro. He got to close the show, bro.
Yeah.
But as y'all can see, everybody, and I'm gonna get my final word. As y'all can see, all these esoteric, none of them match up.
So why are you scared to let me speak? You sitting on here
because he's gonna close the show up, bro. He gotta go.
So, the symbolism does match up universally. It's when you get ignorant people that don't understand it, they're the ones confused. Those that are educated in symbolism are not confused. It's a symbol. And if you don't understand when a man says a symbol, if you think Lucifer is a person, then you're ignorant. When did I ever say Lucifer was a person? That's why y'all keep saying, when how is Lucifer Jesus? Because you're thinking of a person. A symbol is not a person.
Okay,
So
let me ask you this, bro, because we got to close the show. See, he left. I wanted him to close the show, but hold up, bro. See, now that Eric, all you had to do is close the show, bro. Come on back in and close the show. But let me say something, bro. See, what you fail to realize, she was trying to say that Jesus is the serpent, and I see it as the capital Lord, which is the creator, was a liar. What symbolism is that?
I don't
That
care
was a
about
story.
that.
Okay, I'm just trying to tell you, bro. That was a story.
You didn't get that from me, bro.
So you're ignorant for even saying that she won when you didn't even know what she said about the beginning of it, bro. And with that being said, hey, look, we finna let it. Me and you will deal with this on a different show. I don't want to end this show with this. Like I said, I'll say you esoterics. I don't understand you. Now, if the shoe don't fit, don't take it the personal way. Go ahead, E. End your show, bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, family.
Can you hear me, JJ?
Yeah, I'll mute your mic.
Yeah, I hear
Hold
you.
on, I'm gonna come.
Okay.
The Most High was tired
No,
of
see, Lex. You know what? I wish the show was a little bit longer, bro.
Me for
no, bro, because you came on here talking about I'm lying. I didn't say you, bro. You put something else. Okay, he back. So let him.
Lester Crowley work.
Yeah,
bro. He's been pushing that.
Okay, well, I actually was gonna bring his book to the debate. I'm bringing the Bible. What you bringing? Anton LaVey's book. Which one? Go ahead, man.
See? Exactly, bro. That's what I mean.
It's a tactic, bro. It's a tactic. Don't take it personal. It's a debate tactic, man. You know how it go.
Yeah,
go ahead,
but it's
great show, man. Powerful information. You know what I'm saying? I connect with some of it. Some of
you're confused,
bro. Let him come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let him
come to the Vortex Entertainment Network, Mad Science, and build with me, and I'll clear up your confusion, brother. Because you put a lot of
man. You set that up right here, man. Do the debate right here. Ain't no running. You trying to run over there? Bring your crowd, look, and then next time we'll go over to your platform. We'll bring our crowd.
No, I'm just talking to him personally, like in terms of like getting him right and building on what he was saying. Because
okay, he trying to say learn up under his feet. Man, I don't know.
No, I'm just saying because he had a lot of things he's confused. On one hand, he's saying, yeah, this symbolism is real. On the other hand, he was trying to ride the fence with Commission and say, oh no, the only reason why I'm talking about the symbolism is to expose the lie. So is symbolism real or not, bro? And if there's symbols in the book, that's the main meaning behind it. Why would the writers even put symbolism in there if it's unnecessary? That's stupid because they want you to get the symbolism in the story or they wouldn't put it in there. So that means that's the principal meaning of the story is in the symbols. But he's saying I'm only talking about it to expose what people
that ain't what he said.
That don't make no sense,
you
bro.
Wasn't even listening, bro. You mixing them up.
The whole time. He said the only reason while I'm talking about it and these symbols is to expose those people and why they're teaching it.
They talking about you. The Masons like you. Ain't you a Mason?
Ain't you a Mason, bro? So we can get back to God. So which one is it, brother? Are the symbols real or not? He's confused, bro.
No, he's showing us the symbols that y'all got up in there.
So
and he's telling you,
are they real or not? Are the symbols? Are they put there to mean something or not?
You asking me or him?
Him.
I guess I ain't about here, man. I said
Go ahead, brother.
I said the symbolisms were sometimes to us as what you would say, people who read in the Bible, comes from different aspects of like conquering, invasions, influence, meaning that yes, the symbolism, the myth, the moral of the story is in it. The stories can change, but the symbolism can be real. But what I'm saying is when we looking at it in just a historical meaning, we just looking at it, is it a physical form? This is the problem that we having to me. And I'm saying for us to get back to God, we have to understand what is the symbolism, what is the myth, what
Exactly.
is that's what I'm saying. So
So
when I said, but
like
when I
so
said when I say I'm exposing them, I'm talking about I'm exposing people who's putting a doctrine over top of this. That's what I
no,
mean.
symbolism doesn't have a doctrine, sir.
So hold on. So
Doctrine, the word
do you agree
doctrine.
with everything? Do you agree with everything the Paul is saying? What about the serpent?
No, I don't agree with everything.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
But no,
You're
you
doing the
said,
same thing to her.
but
That's
hold
what I
up.
mean.
You know, you don't know, bro. A doctrine, that means dogma, meaning there's only one way to look at something. So that's what religious people deal with. But I
No,
can see what someone else is saying, and I can see their point of view in the symbolism, and there's many layers to symbolism.
I said
So
that.
so you don't need y'all are looking for a religion saying you're confused because it's not telling you this is the way it is and it's one way. Like a child, you need exact instructions. This is what that means.
brother. Let me ask you a question, man.
None of these things were wrote like that.
Okay, well,
So
okay.
the
So now I'm asking
symbolism
you,
is the
what is the
point.
moral?
Hold on. When I said exposed, I was explaining about the translations of how they did it. That's why I use Lucifer. Lucifer is not a being. Lucifer was a representation of a king that failed, but the name was mistranslated from something else. That's what
Right.
I mean when I say I
All
exposed
right.
that.
Now, bro, let me ask this brother something, right? Real quick. And I know you got to go, but this is important for the people. I read a scripture the other day in the New Testament that when they said until the day star arises in your hearts. And it was talking about Christ, right? Are you familiar with that scripture?
Not really, but I'm not a New Testament person, but
Okay, so the word day star is another word for Lucifer. And the symbol of the day star can either be Venus or the sun itself.
Venus. That's what it is, bro.
Now, and Jay, see, this is what I mean by the slow gases of JJ, because he's saying that I try to say Lucifer is Christ, and he's thinking of a person. But how is Christ called a day star or the morning star? That is, hey, mad scientist, do you
I
understand?
didn't say it, bro. Brother,
Hold
I
on.
didn't say it. One of your,
Hold on.
I didn't, bro. You somebody, one of
JJ,
y'all said it.
build
I
with
don't
the
compare
mad
it.
scientist, bro. Let your ego go for a second. So, brother,
All
do you
right,
understand that the morning star is a symbol?
yes.
All right. So do you understand that the sun is called the morning star in that symbolism?
Yes, that's why I teach that
All
Jesus
right,
is
hold on. Now,
the 12
and
disciples of
also,
the 12
all
zodiacs.
right, Venus is called the morning star also, right? For
Yes,
those who
yes.
don't know. So Lucifer is another name for the morning star. Do you know that?
Is
Yeah.
Lucifer compared to the
Hold
great
on,
dragon?
brother. I want to build with the brother who understands symbolism, JJ, real quick.
I just asked.
So
Is Lucifer compared to the dragon? Yes, sir.
Hold on. So Lucifer is a name for the morning star. You understand that?
Yes.
So Christ is called the morning star. Is that a Lucifer?
Yes.
Okay. So why?
Okay, hold up. So is Lucifer compared to the dragon?
No.
Okay.
So it means light. Christ said, I'm the light bearer. So the symbolism, when I say Christ is Lucifer, y'all think, see, in the child's mind, Lucifer is a being that flies around space and he's a person and the shit you see in the horror movies. I'm saying Lucifer is a symbol. Those symbols were related to the stars and light. So Christ is called Lucifer, and the angels are called Lucifer.
And what are the Elohims called in that
All
story?
right, so no, hold on, man. You obsessed with that Nepal stuff, bro.
Because you tired of this, bro.
So I want you to stop slandering. If you understand that, JJ, then why, when I brought it out the other day, when Christ is called the morning star, the day star, another word for that is Lucifer, and you lied to the people and tried to act like I was saying something that wasn't true.
Man, cut it out.
Exactly. Yeah,
Cut it
stop
out,
it,
man.
bro. When I come
Hey,
around,
I'm
dudes get
sitting laughing at
confounded.
you because,
You are
hey,
confounded.
let me say
sir.
something real quick. Let me say something
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead and try
Let me
to
just ask you this
deflect and
question.
lie.
Hold on, hold your thought. Let me just ask you this question. I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't gonna ask you ever again. Ever again. All right.
You
So
have
is
to
the
answer my.
serpent? Yeah,
You have to
so let me
answer
do.
my
I want to do
first.
symbols, bro. I want to do symbols. Is the serpent and the dragon compared to each other in the Bible?
No, they're not compared to each other. They're both symbols that was used. In the book of Revelation, you see that a dragon was cast out of heaven. Well, if y'all believe that the serpent, how did the serpent turn into a dragon? And did, bro, let me
Wait,
answer your
but hold
question.
up, bro.
Bro,
Okay, but listen, slow down.
I
Baby
got
steps.
to answer. This
Because
is
I
why
asked you that question for a reason. I didn't ask you for you to do a 10-minute diatribe, bro.
That's
That's
why
what you
go ahead,
do. You
bro.
take off. You go. And
Because
if
you
it's like,
don't got the
whoa,
knowledge. That's why you
Speedy
ask all these questions.
Gonzalez, slow down, brother. Now let me ask you this again. So you're saying that the serpent and the dragon is not compared the same as that old serpent? Oh, wait. I'm asking you with this writing. So I'm saying that really don't match together. That when he say that old serpent that was in the garden, you know what I'm talking about? That you know when they compare that in
old
Revelation?
serpent called the devil.
No, hold, bro. No, don't. Let's no. Stay with me. That old. Okay, now that old. They say he got kicked out of. You know they compare him to that old serpent that was in the garden. Now is that dragon Jesus Christ too?
Is that dragon Jesus Christ?
Because that serpent is, according to y'all, right?
No, see that's what I'm saying. If you
see, Noah, you see, no,
bro,
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to,
JJ, I'm trying to converse with your drunk ass. Damn, bro.
Hey, first of all, bro, ain't nobody drunk, bro.
Well, I didn't let
with your lying ass, bro. Hey, look, I'm asking you this question one more time. Listen, that old serpent. No, it says he got kicked out. He's that old serpent that was in the beginning. Okay, now who is that old serpent? Is that dragon and that old serpent the same? Or what kind of symbolism, what they talking about? Because are we missing something? And then I'm gonna ask you, you say that serpent is Jesus Christ, it's a Messiah. Is that serpent the same? Is that dragon the same as that?
It's all the same, yes. It's all different states of consciousness and depending on the context of what you're talking about.
Okay, so you say that's the Messiah. Well, hold on. So that Messiah was that dragon? Is that dragon the Messiah?
Yeah, it's all the same. If you let me talk.
Come on, man, you got to kid me.
All right, now listen. Let me show you your ignorance, bro. You ask a question, you say, "Oh, now come on."
No, I'm gonna mute my mic. I want to hear this.
All right,
go ahead, bro.
This is childish, y'all. The symbolism is all about different states of consciousness. Now, can I be a snake right now? Yes. Can I snake you? Can I be a dove? And I'm the same person. Can I be a dragon? This is childish. So the symbols is dealing with consciousness, I keep telling you. But the fact you keep relating it to a literal story and a literal person, that's why you're saying, well, it's the dragon, the serpent, and Jesus Christ, the serpent. Like, nigga, I can be...
Okay, I get it. I get it. No, I get it. No, I get it. Because you're not going to come over here and insult me with this dumbass shit that you saying. You can't even answer a basic question. Hold up. No, hold up. No, man, because you're trying to distract. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask Eric. Hold up. I'm going to ask Eric. Now, out of this story, when it says that great dragon, that one that was in the garden, right? That deceived the whole world, Eric.
That's not
now. What do you get out of that? If you're saying that, not you, how would you?
That's not what it says, JJ.
Bro, I'm talking to Eric now. Talking to Eric, bro.
You're lying.
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Calm your ass down, man. That's embarrassing. All right. So I'm trying to figure out how. Okay, so why isn't the dragon now? Why ain't the dragon Jesus Christ?
Okay, now this is how I would say I research. I question things. So I question. Did this man really see a serpent? Okay, and I say, then we go to the scriptures. When you go to the scriptures, we understand that this is a vision that he has. This is not something physical that he's supposed to see. So then thirdly, I would go and say, let me get the answer to it. So if I understand, once I start understanding symbolism, I can say, yes, this is a symbolism of part of a story, because we understand that this is a vision and this is not something physical that really happened.
Okay.
So
So watch this. Hold on, Max, slow down. So it was already enough symbolism, enough for y'all to not to even change it. It compared that dragon. Hold up, listen. It compared that dragon that was getting kicked the hell out, whatever the hell that, and then compared to a serpent that was there in the beginning who deceived the whole world. Y'all don't need to add no Jesus, no goddamn Moses, or nobody else.
The serpent, though. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all crazy, man.
So
I'm
look,
done with it. Hey, I'm finna mute my mic. Eric, you want to mute your mic? We're finna close it out, bro. And then we got
to bring some clarity to something. So you mentioned the vision, right? And you see what comes out of Jesus' mouth.
What?
A double-edged sword, right?
Yes.
Is that not serpent symbolism?
Yes.
Thank you. So that's all we're saying. And it's like, and his eyes were red, right?
Yes.
Is that's serpent symbolism? Then we go to him even saying himself. That's what these dudes don't get, bro. There's no trickery involved in this. And then he himself compared himself to a serpent. It says, as the serpent was lifted up in the wilderness, so shall the Son of Man. That means he was referring to the symbolism of the serpent. Now, do I believe a serpent was ever literally lifted up in the wilderness? No. So we know it's symbolism. So he has a double-edged sword coming out of his mouth. He compares himself to the serpent that was lifted up. So now we see how the serpent can become the Messiah, because in the Garden of Eden, the serpent so-called tricked them, right? And then in the wilderness, a serpent begins to be their salvation. So this shows you that it's a polarity here, talking about a symbol. And that is the cure is within the poison. The same thing that can kill you is the same thing that can uplift you. It depends how you use the energy. That's all this is dealing with, bro.
That's the moral to that story, that the serpent. So the serpent.
There's more
really
than one moral.
Got them kicked, bro. It's my turn. Is there any morals to tell you that hey, be quiet when somebody else talking? Did you skip over that page?
Nah, you must have skipped.
Did you skip over that? Are you drunk? Are you drunk? Chill out, bro. It's my turn to speak.
I don't drink.
Chill out, bro.
Can I say my outro? I gotta go. I mean, y'all
yeah, man. We have to deal with him later, man. I'll see you around, man.
Yeah, JJ, you got
you've been running anyway,
bro. Raise it up,
bro. That shit don't make no sense. None of that shit.
Yeah, I know. Not to a fucking child.
Yeah, I know. Not to a damn liar. All you do is mix match
mind, bro. Raise up.
All right, let me ask you this one more. Hey, go ahead, Eric. Close out.
On the surface with it, bro.
Okay, yeah, bro. You gotta be on disrespectful, man.
But I love you, man.
Hold up, bro.
Bro,
I don't come over here disrespectful though. That's all I ask you.
All right, stop calling me a Satan worshiper. Stop.
I didn't call you a Satan worshiper. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it, brother.
And all that stuff. When you're a baby in knowledge, and that's why
I'm apologize to you because I don't like when people call me names too. So I'm apologize for anything that I said.
But you come over here and insult
that brother got some integrity. He's humble.
Hey, but you don't have no integrity because you attack everybody over here. You don't even look in the goddamn mirror.
They just
you're a hypocrite
when they can't.
You're a hypocrite, bro. I can screenshot. Listen, bro.
You just mad because I said Nepal beat you up, bro. That's my opinion. And you ain't let it go since. You taking it personal. If you had listened to me, you would have been able to debate it. But you too busy.
What the hell am I listening to you for and you teaching nonsense?
You don't know where she
brother,
was.
I don't care. Bro.
That's what I'm trying
I don't
to
care.
tell you.
Bro.
That's why
Hey, y'all can stop.
Hey, bro.
Ain't you about to start the show up? Ain't you about to start? I'm just saying you about to start the show. Yeah, y'all.
The show, bro.
Okay, yeah, Jay's about to start this show up anyway, so I know y'all can jump on.
Hey, I'm gonna get ready to come back on anyway. So
I know, JJ. I just want to say, bro, how could somebody be mad being called a Satan worshiper when they say Jesus is Satan? But that's all I want.
They dumber than a box of rocks. Dumber than a box of rocks.
Now here come this fucking childish.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, go ahead. I got a show to do. So you got to close out.
What's
Yeah,
your show,
your
JJ?
Bible tells you God is Satan in the book of Samuel.
I'm
You
getting ready.
dumb
I'm getting
nigga.
ready to show. I'm getting ready to show
Yeah,
mention.
you can
Hey,
get this work. Who
What'd you say,
man,
JJ?
who
bro,
caused
you
David
look,
to number
listen, bro,
Israel?
bro,
So
you
it's
don't even
one
have
and the
enough
same
discipline to let nobody
source.
talk. You
Yeah,
just here for a
because
distraction,
you
man.
want to know, you want to lie.
Man, ain't
You
nobody
want to
lying on
lie
you,
to the
man.
lie.
Bro, if you're a goddamn Mason and that's
Stop
what you
being a
is. That's what you is,
stop
Cream.
being
You got,
an
hey, Cream, get up
intellectual
out of
punk.
here, Cream. Hey, you messing up dude's show. Get your dumb ass out of here, man.
Yeah, what's your show again?
Hey, have you noticed every time he come on here, he bring that bullshit? Now, when me and Kamisha asked him for the debate, I said, I'm gonna bring the Bible. Kamisha's bringing the Quran. What books are you bringing? Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey. He got in his feelings. He shut up because he know goddamn well he ain't gonna have no books unless it's some goddamn Luciferian bullshit, some Madame Blavatsky bullshit. So then, whenever you want to get your silly ass in the ring, hey, the challenge is still out there because it's on tape. You and Q ran.
What'd you say
Go
your
ahead,
show
bro.
was? What'd you say your show was?
I'm finna do a recap of me and Tazar's debate on. He said, "Is the Bible an anti-Hamitic book?"
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch it from when I'm working. Yeah, I'm gonna do my outro. I just want to say peace, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Like I said, I'm coming from my research, from what I got from my research. I am not trying to tell nobody else what to do because I believe nobody should tell nobody else what to do. And I believe that we should have we can have different thoughts of things and not have it personal. And that's where I'm trying to get it to. That because I sit around an atheist, I sit around a Satanist, I sit around people that do spells, I sit around all these people, and we never get personal. And he's my family, and that's how I look at it. So that I'm just showing that we can do that, okay? But my presentation was to show again through influence, through invasion, through conquering, through all the history of things we went to, that I cannot look at this as 100% fact of everything. And I believe that if I'm looking for the truth, I have to find out what the lie is. And if I see that this is not what of God, I have to point it out and expose it. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing people with me that wants to know too, that have the same questions I have, because believe it or not, it's people that have these questions. The thing about Adam and Eve, the thing about Moses crossing the splitting the sea. We have questions and we have a right to look for answers. And that's what I'm here for, to be the one to say, okay, this is the question I have and this is the answer I got from it. And what I'm trying to tell people is you can have historical events that is 100% true. And that's why I speak on Roots. Roots is not a real story, but it's based on historical fact, because the characters are not real, and maybe the event that everything that happened is not real. But did we come on boats? Yes, that's a fact. That's a part of, not all of us, but did people come off the boat in the slave trade? Yes. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, that a historical event can have symbolism in it, and it can have other things like myth in it, and it can have more of the stories in it. So that's what I'm trying to say about that. And let's peace out.
All right, man. Another exciting show. You know how we doing it, then. Hey, if you ain't built for this, man, you might need to go to some of them other, softer programs, where it's going to be collegiate and we're going to talk like this, and come on, bro, that ain't us. We growl, we roar, but we, at the end of the day, we can show love for each other, man. That's what we do in the den. It's not a one-sided thing over here. All walks of life are welcome here. We know that, bro. But we got to have a certain level of respect sometimes, especially when the host, the creator of the platform is asking for you to be quiet for a minute. It's like, y'all can stop arguing. Because I don't come on Lex Vortex Entertainment and do that to you, bro. I'm not calling you out your name or some little, or what you heard, bro. I don't do that to you. I sat on your show the last time I came on your show. I sat there for 45 minutes straight, didn't say a word. You forgot I was on the panel. And when I said something, you said, who was that? I said, oh, see, I said, bro, I've been sitting here, you know, I know how to be quiet and listen. That's something you should do. Everything is like that. I mean, you just want to challenge everything, bro.
Yeah, and I want to say, look, I don't have no problem with JJ, anybody, apostle, anybody asking me questions and then saying that they don't believe it. It's things I don't believe that you say, James. I don't believe apostles say. And this is the thing this is the great thing about being humans. We don't have to believe what everybody says. You see what I'm saying? But my problem with apostle I have is don't tell me how to think, because I'm a grown man. When I die, I have to face God. So ain't nobody gonna tell me how to think. I don't care what they say or how they say it. You can put a gun in my head. I'm that type of person that's gonna still say what I say. So don't tell me what I can teach, and don't tell me what I can't teach, because I don't tell nobody else that. And
right,
with that,
and then also let me come over here and talk about, oh, you don't understand because you have a childlike mind. No, brother, you bro, come on, man. You just caught, bro. All that shit you saying, none of it makes sense. Oh, you gotta have a mind of Lex to understand this dumbass shit. Oh man, what'd you say when you come over here and get in?
Like, how can you be mad? Somebody call you a Satan worshiper, but you say Satan is Jesus. You should be saying thank you, brother.
Right, now you're offended. Now all of a sudden you're offended.
But see, that's part of the doctrine I was trying to explain, and that I didn't agree. Where is he talking about Satan? Because we know Satan, as far as I teach, I don't teach Satan as a being. I teach Satan as an adversary of Israel and God.
Well, didn't he come over here? That's what he came over in the spirit of that goddamn great architect in the sky, or whatever the hell you call it over there, trying to keep up confusion, trying to accuse us of slandering your silly ass, and you to put the dumbass doctrine out there. How you gonna, like Gideon said, how the hell you gonna get mad? You said Lucifer is Satan, and Satan is Jesus, and Jesus is the light bearer, and all this shit.
And let me tell anybody, I'm gonna tell everybody it again. I left the church because I don't follow doctrine. Meaning, you're not gonna tell me I left SBK because they told me they had the truth and I can't ask no questions. I left that. So I would never go under anybody and make them believe that I have to learn from them. When I call a person a teacher, that does not mean I learn or teach everything they teach. I might take a way of researching from you. I might say, okay, I believe what he said about this. That's how I look at stuff as a student. I will never be under anybody's doctrine because I don't trust any man because God told me not to.
He trying to act like you and him got the same school of thought. Nah, man, I ain't heard you say some of that outlandish stuff.
His purpose is to disclose the Bible, like he said, is to push it kind of way. Mine is to show that this Bible is the greatest thing ever. If we actually understand the messages of it and the symbolism, if we actually get to it, understand the lies that they put in it through the translation, this is the greatest book ever created. But I'm telling people, my foundation is y'all, meaning only I worship y'all. I question everything else, even if it's Kemet, even if that's why I tell people about the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is translated to English. So them people that's talking about they know the off the walls, they cannot step in front of a wall and read nothing. They have to go to that Rosetta Stone and translate it from their English words. So they have to trust what that English is, and that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. But peace. I'm gonna watch the show, JJ.
I don't know if he I mean, the audience already here. I don't know if we can just put it on instead of just start. Unless you want to just keep it separate.
I mean, it's 4 hours. It's up to y'all if y'all want to do it. You know, I know y'all don't like long. I don't know if y'all like long videos.
Yeah, that's a long day. Yeah, we'll start another one because, I mean, 4 hours, man. You barely get somebody to watch 2 hours of a show.
Yeah.
Let alone we add another 3 hours of us.
Yeah, I supposed to have been on. I supposed to be on about 6 o'clock.
Right. It went over. But yeah, man, great show, man. Like I say, man.
And like I said, I'm gonna say this again. Thank you, Lions Den. Thank you, JJ. Enoch, I know it's hard for man. Listen, I know it's hard to listen to some people that you agree with sometimes. I understand that. I fully understand that. But I love you, man, because even if you don't agree, you still
I love you too, brother.
And you still allow me to speak, man. You still allow me to speak. And Karima, she is a wonderful, man. She's one of the greatest women I knew, man. She's one of the most loyal women out there, and that's for real. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't just saying this. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it because there ain't no platforms like this, man. It's none. It's none. I don't been in different platforms. Everybody has a bias. Everybody's like, no, I don't want to hear that. Kick people off and all that. You got to position. You letting everybody speak, and I love that. All right. Peace out.
All right, love. Peace. All right, Giddy, you got anything to say before we go? I mean,
Nah,
he
man,
already know.
just appreciate the platform. You know, always, appreciate it. That's about it, bro. Enjoyed the show. And
Yeah.
shalom, everybody.
All right, we're coming right back with the is the Bible an anti-Hamitic book? Are they against Africans? Is the Bible an anti-Hamitic book? That is Tazariak's position. Mine's, I'm saying no. That's what you got to see. This debate was done probably about, I don't know, probably about 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And he's still running his lip like he. So sometimes you gotta show them to their face again what really happened. So other than that, we up out of here, man. Stay tuned. Come back. We love y'all. We out.